Hello, I'm HQ of HQ Reacts. If you find yourself here and you're not subscribed, please like, share, and subscribe. If you find me on other social media platforms, please follow me, like, share, and subscribe. We are trying to get to 5,000 subscribers. So, you can catch me on Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, and TikTok. Hey, everybody. We got that announcement last night that we were joining into the forces, right? We were going to join the forces and we were going to join Israel in this fight against Iran. Preemptive strike, no less. Okay? A preemptive strike to a perceived danger. Not necessarily a danger that was not there. That's not the point. The point was we joined into this fight according to people reluctantly. We joined this fight. This fight, of course, it never should have gotten this far, but we are here, so we got to deal with it, right? This president, we don't know how far they are willing to go. We don't understand how far it could go. So I just wanted to open up the phone lines for people who wanted to call and say, hey, uh, this is how I feel about the war. Now, this was the announcement last night uh, by President Trump. This was his announcement about us having struck Iran and their three major entrances to their nuclear facility underground.
Thank you very much. A short time ago, the U.S. military carried out massive precision strikes on the three key nuclear facilities in the Iranian regime: Fordow, Natanz, and Esfahan. Everybody heard those names for years as they built this horribly destructive enterprise. Our objective was the destruction of Iran's nuclear enrichment capacity and a stop to the nuclear threat posed by the world's #1 state sponsor of terror. Tonight, I can report to the world that the strikes were a spectacular military success. Iran's key nuclear enrichment facilities have been completely and totally obliterated. Iran, the bully of the Middle East, must now make peace. If they do not, future attacks will be far greater and a lot easier. For 40 years, Iran has been saying death to America, death to Israel. They have been killing our people, blowing off their arms, blowing off their legs with roadside bombs. That was their specialty. We lost over 1,000 people, and hundreds of thousands throughout the Middle East and around the world have died as a direct result of their hate. In particular, so many were killed by their general, Qasem Soleimani. I decided a long time ago that I would not let this happen. It will not continue. I want to thank and congratulate Prime Minister Bibi Netanyahu. We worked as a team like perhaps no team has ever worked before. And we've gone a long way to erasing this horrible threat to Israel. I want to thank the Israeli military for the wonderful job they've done. And most importantly, I want to congratulate the great American patriots who flew those magnificent machines tonight, and all of the United States military on an operation the likes of which the world has not seen in many, many decades. Hopefully, we will no longer need their services in this capacity. I hope that's so. I also want to congratulate the chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff, General Dan Raisin Kane, spectacular general, and all of the brilliant military minds involved in this attack. With all of that being said, this cannot continue. There will be either peace or there will be tragedy for Iran far greater than we have witnessed over the last 8 days. Remember, there are many targets left. Tonight's was the most difficult of them all, by far, and perhaps the most lethal. But if peace does not come quickly, we will go after those other targets with precision, speed, and skill. Most of them can be taken out in a matter of minutes. There's no military in the world that could have done what we did tonight, not even close. There has never been a military that could do what took place just a little while ago. Tomorrow, General Kane, Secretary of Defense, Pete Hegseth will have a press conference at 8 a.m. at the Pentagon. And I want to just thank everybody, and in particular, God. I want to just say we love you, God, and we love our great military. Protect them. God bless the Middle East. God bless Israel, and God bless America. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Well, here we are. Yeah, he seems to be boasting about ending the lives of other people. This Benjamin Netanyahu has been boasting or bellowing about them having nuclear weapons for the last 20 years. What made it so special now? I believe what made it so special now was because he had this particular person in the White House. Right. What happened to America First? Nobody wanted any wars, and he made it very clear we were not. Why did we have to get involved with this war? I don't understand. Those are those people's problems. Those are those people's issues. Why did we have to get involved? Now we're on the chopping block with this Iran. We didn't have any beef with Iran. Iran would have came for Iran knew not to come for us. What happens when you're pushed into a corner and you don't have no way to get out of that corner unless you be dirty, unless you be deadly, unless you be absolutely annihilation? It'll be a scorched earth. What happens now that you have pushed that man, that Ayatollah Khomeini, I think that's how it's pronounced. What happens? Okay. It was 7 U.S. bombers, cruise missiles that went over there and supported by a whole bunch of other stuff, I guess, went over there and eliminated that Fordow, it's Natanz, and Esfahan. You eliminated those 3 major targets, but that don't mean they didn't have more targets. That don't mean they didn't have more places that we could have bombed, but we didn't. Now every American has to be vulnerable when they go overseas. Every American has to watch their back, regardless of where you at. See, these people will pick a target and targets wherever, and then we got to worry about Americans getting broke off overseas. Iran said this is a grave violation of international law. We had no business going over there. We had no business striking these people. And I get it. I do. I get it. They can't afford to let them have a nuclear weapon. But Israel got a nuclear weapon. The threat that I got a nuclear weapon against you should stop you from releasing your nuclear weapon. That was the whole point. I got a nuclear weapon. You got one. We don't want to see neither one of us release the weapon. So that is the stalemate that them two had. Israel got a nuclear weapon. Why now that Israel got a nuclear weapon, how do we know Israel won't start another war with somebody else? Israel is already in the middle of a war with Pakistan, with the Palestinian people, with the Gaza people. They're in the middle of a war with the Gaza people. And a lot of people don't know it, But them Palestine, the Gaza Strip, right? We are in the Palestine, the Israel people is in a war with them people. Why would you need to start another war? Finish the war that you got already. Okay? I don't give a damn about them people in them wars. I just don't want us to be over in them wars again. Where we got our people over there fighting for people that would break us off if they got a chance. These people don't care about us. Over them people over there don't care about us. They said this is a grave violation of international law. It reserves all options. It's ready to fire roughly 40 missiles at Israel. Okay. Them people said, that man said, we ain't trying to hear it. Y'all shouldn't be over here, America. Israel wants to fight with them people. Let Israel fight with them people. That Iran leader has publicly, he has publicly threatened the U.S. military targets across the region. And now, y'all done made him puff out his chest. That means that Iranian leader got to do it. That means that Iranian leader, that you done shown my pride. You done made me jump out there. That Iranian leader said, if United States jump in the middle of this, we coming for you. We promise retaliation. They have promised retaliation. What does that mean? That you promised retaliate. What does that mean? Does that mean that we see? To me, that means we in another war. To me, that's what that means. Okay, that means we in for it, which means we got to watch our back. Okay, I know sleeper cells, all kinds of people coming over here bombing. How you think them people got in? How you think them people got in and did 9/11? For years, those people came over and was among us, not being radical, practicing our ways, learning our flight pattern for years. Don't you think Iran can activate these people? Okay, they can activate these people, and then we in trouble. I don't understand why America think people can't come over here and act up. I don't understand why you think that they can't come over here and act up. The Iranian people have been funneling money to that Houthi, that Hezbollah, that Hamas. They are part of that terror organization that go around and scare folks. People don't, okay, what we can expect strikes to be exposed on our bases in Al-Assad, similar to Iran's 2020 response to the Soleimani strike, but on a bigger scale. Okay, sleeper scale. That's what scares me. Drone swarms, cruise missiles aimed at our air defense, aimed at our lands. I don't understand what this means. All I know is that man, that crazy leader of Iran, says, now that you done did what you did, I'm willing to go all the way in. And then you got to look at Iran on the map. Iran, it don't have as many people as we have because there's mountainous. The land is probably mountainous and whatnot, and people don't live in the mountains and what. But their land mass is as big as that, but they don't have as many people as we do. I think they got like 93 million. We have 300 some million. Ain't no way we should have got involved with this war. And like I said, I get it. Israel said that they were about to get a nuclear bomb made. They had enough enriched uranium for it to happen. But you still told us that we weren't going to go to war. You still told us to get out of the wars. You still told, And we didn't, and I truly believe we didn't have to get in this war. Why did we need to? Why couldn't Israel do their own thing? Why couldn't y'all do your own thing? I don't understand that. You could have did your own thing and then we would have been okay. But now we got to worry about people coming to get us. Okay. What can happen? Let me see. Let me read it. It remains the most flexible car in the day. Okay. What can happen? We pop rockets and one-way drones. Okay. Limited rocket fire on northern Israel to stretch Iron Dome. Anti-ship missiles, drone boats attacks in the Red Sea. They can strike at any time. They could go quiet. They could go quiet for months. And then all of a sudden, start attacking folks out of the blue. Tehran controls about 20% of the oil, right? The oil comes through on the Strait of Hormuz. The oil comes through there. It could close that. Waterway, that oil flow. They could close. It goes through that Strait of Hormuz. If they close that, Iran calls for its closure. The oil price is gonna skyrocket. Gas prices gonna skyrocket. Oil already finna be raised to $12 to $15 a barrel, or $3 to $5 higher than what it normally is. Okay. And we can't do nothing about it because we don't have nothing to do with that OPEC. Okay. We don't have nothing to do with that. It could be campaigns against banks, transportation. We just don't know. That's what scares me. That's the one thing that scares me. How are these people gonna strike back? That dude said we gonna retaliate. How? How? That's the whole point. And nobody really thought about that. You saw Trump. Trump was on there, got his chest stuck out. He got his chest stuck out. Like we the baddest dogs on. Just because we have the biggest weapons don't mean we can be the deadliest fight. See, America has never seen war on its borders. It has never seen war here. Sooner or later, they're going to bring it to our door. Sooner or later, they're going to bring it to our door. And what do we do? Okay. What do we do if they bring it to our door? And I know it's far-fetched and people saying, oh, it ain't going to happen like that, blah, blah, blah. Look, I didn't believe that they were going to move to make AB or abortion illegal. I didn't realize they were going to move to do that. But in this big, beautiful bill, they're moving to cut off all the money to fund the clinics that give you birth control and everything else. They're going to do that. I didn't believe they were going to do that. Somebody, I'm going to say his name, Jay, told me they never going to make it illegal federally. They moving to do that right now to make AB illegal federally, which means it would be illegal all over the country. Told me that wouldn't happen. Now they're trying to do it. But I digress. Trump got his chest stuck out. Nobody in the world could have did this. Nobody in the world could have did that. And they don't. Why? My question is, why didn't they do it under Biden or Obama? You know why they didn't do it? Because Biden told them he wasn't going to have no part of no war. You're going to do it on your own. If you go to war, you're going to do it on your own. We're not going to help you. That's what happened. Biden said that. My people don't want no more wars, and we're not going to do no more wars. Okay? This is what Biden said. Biden was like, oh, no. We ain't finna do that. And what happened? He didn't pull this Bibi Netanyahu didn't pull his bullshit when Biden was the president or Obama. But he had been saying all these years, if you go back and look at all his press conferences, Iran can't have no nuclear weapon. Iran can't have no nuclear weapon. Iran can't have no nuclear weapon. All these years he been saying that. And all of a sudden you get a president that's willing to go down that rabbit hole with you, and here we are back into another war when this president said we wasn't going to have no another war. So I was like, okay, what do we do now? Because we started it. Basically what we did, we started it. We started it because we went along with Israel, because Israel is our friend. Okay, I don't understand how that's our friend and they be dragging us into fights. They be dragging us into bullshit. I don't understand how that's your friend. Every time something happens, we got to help y'all. I don't understand that's your friend. Because that when you two people gang up on little countries, when two people gang up on two big people gang up on little countries, that tells me that you're a bully. Okay. United States, Russia ganged up on that little ass country, the Ukraine. United States, Israel jumped on Iran. Why we always got to be in the middle of all of these things? We shouldn't be. We have turned into a bully, and now we got to fight. Let's get the biggest motherfucker on the block to fight. Let's get the biggest person on the block to help us in this war. No, you go and you do your thing. You and Israel, Israel and Iran, y'all keep them nuclear weapons. Y'all keep that shit over there. Keep it over there. Leave us Americans out of it. Now we're going to have Americans getting unalived. They got to go to war. They're going to have a draft. Maybe they have a draft. I don't know if they're going to have a draft or not. But that's coming if we get dragged into this war completely and fully. Y'all know, and I know, if this Iranian leader decides he gonna go scorched earth, yeah, if war, yes, it does prepare higher inflation. Our men going off to war. Our men, the military bases have to be doubled up. Our military bases have to be secured even more. Our borders have to be secured even more. Everything gets ramped up when we go to war. Okay, inflation, higher prices, layoffs, all of we are trying to pull ourselves out of a hole right now, and here we go back to bad decision after bad decision after bad decision. We can't afford to look what we doing. We passing a bill in Congress that's gonna make our taxes, all of us yahoos, all of us middle of the road people, our taxes gonna go up because of this big bill that's in Congress. We having fights on the border. People are pushing back on this immigration deportation thing. We got people going to Guantanamo Bay without due process. We got Trump just dragged us into a war with people we don't give a damn about. Y'all, we don't give a damn about them people. We want to deal with us, our problems. We want to deal with our problem. We don't give a damn about these people across the seas. Y'all do y'all thing. I care so far that I don't want human beings to lose their lives. That's as far as I care. But I don't want to be in no war with you and some motherfuckers I don't even understand what they saying. And I know that they don't like us. Okay? I know they don't like us. So why am I getting involved with something that we don't even need to be involved. Long as they don't come here acting up. Long as they don't come here showing their ass. I don't care what they do. But now we got to deal with these people because Trump dragged us into this. No. But see, we saw it coming. We saw it coming, but people wanted Trump to be the president. We saw it coming. We saw what this president, he said he ain't no war president. Yes, he is. He's a war hawk, just like the rest of them. He's a war hawk. It is what it is. Ain't no way we down this rabbit hole this quick, this fast. And the president is sane. And we have a sane human being at the helm of our country. Now, you think that Ayatollah Khomeini, I can't say his name right. You think the leader of Iran is going to let this stand? He said, if you attack us, it's on like popcorn. You hear me? It's on. Now, we just got to wait to see what they do. You think that the Iranian people are just going to attack those Israeli people? We attacked them Iranian people. Them Iranian people going to come back at us. They willing to do kamikaze shit. Kamikaze shit. They willing to do that. If they willing to do, are we willing to do kamikaze shit? No, we not. Are they willing to do kamikaze shit? Yes, they are. Which means we in trouble because we don't know where they're going to strike next. Okay. And people think this is just a war, or this World War III. The Tehran has been funding Hamas, the Houthis, Hezbollah. They have been funding those terrorist organizations for years. For years. Okay. So if they've been funding those terrorist organizations, don't you think them terrorist organizations is going to help them do whatever they can do? Don't you think they've been activated? Yeah, let's draw the Americans in. Let's get the Americans in. Yeah, we want to see what the Americans gonna do. Once the Americans jump in, yeah, we gonna help y'all. This is how it becomes World War III. When different nations jump in and try to help. Every nation that was involved in Afghanistan and Iraq was like, oh, hell no. They came to our defense in Iraq. They came to our defense because we were attacked. 9/11, they attacked us on our home front. Iraq was, it was Saudi Arabian guy, Saddam Hussein, who attacked us. Don't you think that Iran could do the same thing? Find somebody, and I'm sure that they have intelligence. I get all that. But that's all you got to do is start attacking American bases all over the world. American, what is they called? Embassies, bases, our food supply, our chain supply. That's all you got to do is start attacking that stuff. Right? I wanted somebody to call in and give me your insight. I don't want only my insight. I don't want my voice to be the only voice that is there. I want to be able to I wanted to talk to other people, have other people make their peace about what was going on. Did they have any insight into what they might have a issue with? What do they think is the next move he's going to make? Yes, it's our country's relationship with Israel that dragged us into this. We are considered allies with Israel, but that don't mean I got to follow you down the alleyway and fight. That don't mean I got to follow you down the alleyway to fight. That's the thing. And that's the problem. We followed Israel down the alleyway to fight. And we had no business doing that. Because you said that we weren't going to do that. That's the number to call. If somebody want to say something, I prefer someone to say something. What do you actually want to say? Instead of, scrolling, putting it on the bottom of the screen, call in and say whatever you want to say about the war. I feel like we got tricked into it because Bibi Netanyahu, right? Bibi Netanyahu been saying for years they're going to get a nuclear weapon. They close to a nuclear weapon. Why didn't, and he's been saying the same thing for you. Why didn't we do it when Obama was president? Somebody tell me that. Why didn't we do it when Obama was president? Benjamin Netanyahu been saying this for years. Why didn't we do it when Biden was a president? That's 12 whole years that we could have been attacking Iran. And Benjamin Netanyahu been saying this since before then. Then Trump becomes president. Obama had that motherfucker in a chokehold. Obama had the Iranian people in a chokehold. Hell no. Trump said he hasn't declared war on Iran. Yes, you have. Yes, you have. Any act of aggression against those people, you declared war. Trump can deploy military action against any country that he wants to. He can do it, but he's supposed to go through Congress. He's supposed to go through the Senate and the House to see if they will authorize war. He didn't do that. He can send military preemptive strikes. He can do that. But he's supposed to go through Congress first. He didn't do that, right? He didn't do that. Iran, ain't no way Iran don't think this is a war. That's why this preemptive strike by Trump is an act of aggression to the Iranian. Them Iranian people minding their damn business. Them Iranian people minding their damn business. They minding their damn business. And all of a sudden, I'm having a war. This is Iran. I'm having a dispute with Israel. Israel sent bombs over here. Then Iran looks at America and says, don't get involved with this. We ain't got no beef with you. We got a beef with these Israeli people. America, don't get involved with this shit. All of a sudden, America shoots bombs over there and tears my shit up. Wait a minute, hold up. I told you, don't get involved. Otherwise, I'm going to show you your ass. I'm going to show my ass. What do he mean by I'm finna show you my ass? That's what I'm scared of. What does he mean? I'm finna show you my ass. We don't know because we ain't never been involved. We ain't never been involved with Iran before. We ain't never tangled with that kind of snake. That's a different type of snake. That's a different type of snake. Okay? That snake has been funding, like I said, Houthis, Hamas, Hezbollah, those kind of gangs. They have been funding those gangs. Those gangs don't like America neither. Those gangs are against America too. What do we say? You think Iran is going to see it? Iran says you came over here, it's on like popcorn. And so now when I said there are a lot of soft targets in America. There's a lot of things that can be done. If you don't care, what's not true? Tell me what's not true. You can come up if you want to come up. I didn't want a panel but you can come up and talk if you want to come up. I don't understand. What do you mean? You can come up and talk. You ain't got to be on screen. Anybody can come up and talk. I prefer you calling in, but anybody can come up and talk. Right? You said that's not true. What do you mean is not true? I don't understand. Next phase. What's not true about what I said? Them Iranian people have ties to a bunch of terrorist organizations. I'm sure that we do too. But we have never went over there and said we finna attack you. President Trump got on TV and said, if you that we took care of these three things. They hoping Trump is hoping that the Iranians have had enough damage to their stuff that they won't attack us. They don't have to attack us in no full-fledged fashion. That's all they got to do is have a coordinated attack. I got 20 people right now that's willing to go to 20, that's willing to go, that know how to make bombs, that know how to cause terror. I got 20 people that will go to 20 random American sites where there's Americans. We were good. I get all that, Rain. I get all that. But this president brought this problem upon us. This president brought the problem to our door. Okay? This president brought this problem to our door. Okay? Obama had the nuclear Iranian deal in place. He had it in place in 2015. Obama. Iran is one of those places where next phase. Iran is one of those places where Iran they deal with terrorist organizations all the time. Obama negotiated a deal with them. Them people, they live in a country where the lights only stay on for 10 hours of the day. Water is sketchy. Security is sketchy. Police are sketchy. They didn't have no money. They couldn't buy nothing. They were cut off. We had embargoes. We had all kinds of things, sanctions against Iran. We went to Iran. Obama went to Iran and said, I will give you your money back. I will let you have your stuff back. I will let you do trade if you get rid of your nuclear weapons. If you get rid of your nuclear weapons. Okay. Iran was such in a vulnerable state that Iran said, okay, we will make an agreement. We will give up the bulk of our nuclear weapons, or we will give up our nuclear weapons, uranium grade enrichment, whatever, if you give us our money back. We had a deal. Iranian nuclear deal. Look it up. Trump in 2018, when he began 2018, he went and he tore that deal up. I ain't gonna honor this deal that Obama did. I'm withdrawing my support. I ain't giving y'all nothing. It's over. We ain't doing the deal no more. Obama had already negotiated that deal. That deal was signed, sealed, delivered. We was giving those people their money back so they can buy trade, they can buy food, they can keep the lights on, they can do all that. And then Trump came along and tore that deal up, blew that deal up because Benjamin Netanyahu got in Trump's ear and told him, don't accept that deal. We don't want them to have nothing. And what did Trump do? He tore the deal up. That's why we are here where we are here today. Okay? That's why we are here where we are here today. Because Trump tore that deal up. We may not have stopped. We may not have stopped them from building a nuclear weapon, but we slowed Obama slowed their ass down to where we didn't have to worry about it like today. Hell yeah, war scares me. I'm scared that them people going to infiltrate the United States and we're going to have another 9/11. Of course it scares me. I don't want us to be in war at all. Not at all. I want all of us to be scared of each other. That's what I want. I want all of us to be scared of each other where we don't get into war. That's what I want. But I don't think it's fair for the two bullies on the international platform, United States and Israel, to bully one person into not having nuclear weapons, but we got nuclear weapons. Israel has nuclear weapons. United States has nuclear weapons. China has nuclear weapons. Why do you think we never attacked China? We never attacked Russia because they got nuclear weapons too. Iran knew not to drop no nuclear weapons, even if they had them. So why y'all get to have them, but he don't get to have them? Now he in the corner. He's a dog in a corner, and he gonna fight his way out. We don't know how he gonna do it, but he gonna do it because he said it. You attack me, United States, it's on and popping. Which means we got soft targets around the world and United States everywhere, and we got to watch our back now. People who go on to people who go out of country, go visiting, go on vacation, you need to watch your back. Yes, next level.
No, I ain't no next level. I ain't none of them cornballs over there. My name is Next Phase, remember?
Oh, I'm sorry, next phase. I'm sorry. Go ahead, hon.
You been over there with freezing them or something?
With
That's
whom?
next level over there. Next level is over there.
No. I
You don't
always
be over there?
I think a next level is Ice Cube. Ice Cube said he was next level. I mean Ice whatever his name is. He calls himself next level. I don't know why that stuck in my head.
Oh, okay.
So what do you think next phase about this?
Uh I think it may very well be necessary. I know a lot of people say, hey, a lot of people are turning their back, the conservatives are mad and saying all this stuff, but I think you'd be very much surprised, especially if you really look deeper into some of these communities that they feel it's necessary that we do everything we can and take every measure to protect the assets in our country and our best interest. I think that they would say that they're all for it. It's bad as it sounds to some people.
Mm-hmm.
Um, it's absolutely necessary that we continue to hold that power and in that fear to other countries that if you don't tread lightly, that there's going to be consequences and we
Okay.
will retaliate.
Yeah, but we're not retaliating. We're not
Well, the retaliation
retaliating.
is the not cooperating with which it could be a lie. We don't know. I always leave the opportunity for the possibility of something not being true, or I could be wrong. But I would say this: they have their reasons, and it is not just just attacking him out of personal reasons. I believe it's a strategy to
I mean,
something going on over there.
I get it. We're taking away their ability, like Rain said, to start shit. But who started this shit? Who started this preemptive strike? Who did this? This was Israel's fight. I'm not saying that Israel was wrong. Yeah, when you speak, you make a weird noise. Next phase is something is wrong with your mic or something's too loud. Is something going on? Fix your mic or something. I'm not saying that.
I'm gonna drop down and come back up.
Okay. I'm not saying that Israel. No, I'm not saying that Iran needed to have a nuclear weapon. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is we got involved when we didn't need to get involved. This was a fight between Israel and Iran. Why did we need to get involved? Nobody's saying that we shouldn't, that there shouldn't be somebody who stops Iran. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is, why did we have to do anything about it? We didn't have to do anything about it. The fight is between you all. And the assumption is that they're going to use nuclear weapons. That's the assumption. Because we just got out of war, El Castigador, El Castigador. That name is wild. Because we just got out of war, and we're exhausted with war. We're exhausted with it. Why couldn't Iran? Why couldn't Israel figure out how to attack Iran on their own? Why couldn't they buy some bombers from us? And why couldn't they drop them bombers? Why did you have to pull us into the middle of it? That's a war between y'all. That's y'all's war. And it's like, look, I don't give a damn about them people over there. Only in the terms of them hurting vulnerable populations and this, that, and the third. But I don't want no war. I don't want our men and women going back to war for a war that don't have nothing to do with us. And I get it. We gotta show our strength. But see, when you don't know what a person is capable of, you don't know. Israel is the one who did this strike. Israel is the one who started this. They started it. The world saw them start it. Y'all started it, then y'all need to end it. Y'all started it, then y'all need. Wait a minute. This is the way I really look. I look at it like this. Israel didn't have enough firepower to win the war. You was a skinny little kid punching at another kid, and you can't follow up that punch with nothing else. So why you go over there and punch that man if you knew you couldn't fight? You went over there and punched that man as a little kid. You went over there as a skinny, scrawny kid and punched Iran. And then you looked over your shoulder and said, hey, America, hey, big, bold America, come over here and save me. Knowing full well you couldn't fight. You were scared of them. Israel, you were scared of them. Okay? You were scared of Israel. No, you were scared of Iran. But you went over there as a little kid. It's an analogy. As a little kid, you went over there and you punched the big bully who is a bully. Iran is a bully because they have Houthi, they have the Houthis, the Hezbollah, they have Hamas, they have all of them in their pocket. So as a little kid, Israel went over there and punched that big old bully in the face and then turned around and said, come on, America, help me beat him up, help me beat him up. You started a fight that you couldn't win. That's the way I look at it. You started a fight that you couldn't win. So you decided you were going to pull us into it as an American, as your friend. I'm your friend. So you look over your shoulder. You done punch somebody in the face. Now you look over your shoulder and want me to help you fight? When I already done told you, I told you years ago, we don't want no fight like that. I told you that. But what did this president, Benjamin Netanyahu, do? He waited till we got a goofy president in the White House, and then he pulled him into a fight, and then there he go. There he go. Next phase.
Wow. Can you tell me if it's any better?
Yes, it's way better. Now we got you.
Yeah, I had to switch over I had to get out my phone and get on my laptop.
There you go.
On my MacBook.
You sound good. Okay. I'm afraid of them too, Rain. I'm afraid. That's the whole point. These are Islam. These are, look at October. Look at what happened on October 7th and I got my dates wrong. November 7th, October 7th, what Hamas did to Israel. That deadly day. Look what he did. Look what them people are willing to do. That's what I'm saying to you. That country is worse than what that October or November 7th date is. Them people do that kind of shit. Them people can come over here and do that kind of shit. People can have bases all over the United States, all over the world, and do that to Americans. That's what I'm afraid of. That's what I was afraid of. Please don't pull us into them wars with them Islamic religious fanatical people. Because them religious fanatical people, they about that life. They about that life. Breaking folks off. You know, breaking folks off from that. What happened then? It was a big gigantic attack that what I wasn't sure. I can't really articulate it. But happened what happened to the Israeli people on, I think it's October, I want to say October 7th. It was Hamas. Hamas is the organization that runs Gaza, the Gaza Strip, that small Gaza Strip. On the early morning, over 6,000 militia, including elite Nukaba fighters, crossed from Gaza into southern Israel, breaching into the border fence. They launched a barrage of more than 4,000 rockets, then attacked civilian communities, military outposts, and even music festival celebrating the Simchat Torah. Approximately 1,100 Israelis were killed, including 736 civilians in one tragic incident. Okay. Hostages were taken. In short, October 7th, Hamas, who is in charge of the Gaza Strip, who is still fighting Israel. Israel is fighting the Gaza Strip as they're starting another fight with Iran. Okay. October 7th, Hamas conducted an unprecedented, brutal, multi-front attack, killing nearly 1,200 Israelis, taking hundreds of hostages, overwhelming the hospitals, and dramatically escalating into full-fledged war. I don't know whether that wasn't the beginning of the war between Gaza and Hamas, but that's when Israel said, "Oh, it's on y'all willing to do that? Okay, we finna show you what time it is." So it was a deadly attack on October 7th against Israelis, Hamas. Hamas is a part of the group that runs with Iran. Iran has Hamas, Hezbollah, Houthi. Those are the three terrorist organizations that are associated with Iran. They're willing to do anything. They're willing to even off themselves to get other people, to get these targets around the world. That's why I'm afraid of us going to war, because those people will do whatever needs to be done, because those are soldiers. Soldiers always do what needs to be done next. Always. And that's what they are. Terrorist organization. Yeah. Not on that level, Black America. Not on this level. Not on this level. It's not like that. This was a attack that came out of the blue in the middle of the night. No, it's nothing comparable to that. Nothing comparable to that. The next phase. What say you, sir?
Yes, ma'am. I'm just looking at some stuff here, and
Okay, let me read this one. Dark Star 1485 gifted 1 HQ Reacts membership. Thank you very much. Thank you, Dark Star. Thank you. Oh no, this is a whole those religious fanatics. They ain't playing no games. They ain't playing no games. And so this is what scares me. Hell yeah, I'm scared of war. I'm scared of anybody that is willing to pick up a weapon and hurt another human being. But see, this is a different foe. When we go to war, we don't have no personal animosity towards these people when we go to war, because we just going to war. Our boss says go to war, we go to war, right? These people go to war because of religion. These people, we've all heard it. Death to Americans. They are pigs. They have the hatred for American people, black, white, you name it. They have hatred for us, and they've had it for years. It has fueled and funneled all of their hate, the way of life. They feel as though the Western side is full of infidels. They don't believe in the Muslim religion. We don't believe in following those tenets. all of those things. We are just vulnerable to them. Okay, we are just vulnerable to them. Yeah, but that could be different ways in which we die. This 9/11 is different from these 8,900 people who die every day in America. There's different ways in which they die: self-inflicted, accidents, death, regular death, all those things. Okay. So my whole thing is this: when people came over at 9/11 and did what they did on 9/11, that was horrible. That was horrific. But this is a scale on which this October 7th was on a different scale in their country because they had never seen it, don't know how, when, or where, what happened. But the Hamas is a friend of Iran. And if they can do that, they can come over here and do some other things. I don't know whether they're going to make it to the United States shore, but them 9/11 people did. Them 9/11 people made it over here, didn't they? This is a whole nother hornet's nest. Us going to war with Canada is different from us going to war with a religious fanatic. Okay. And those are religious fanatics over there who are willing to do whatever needs to be done in order for them to annihilate you. They want to wipe us off the map. They want to get rid of us. And I dare say maybe some of the Israeli people too. I don't know. Pakistani people too. I don't know. All I know is we done poked the bear. Yeah, we got plenty of terrorists waiting. The United States jumped their ass up in this war with Israel. We against Israel. We against United States. Let's all jump in. They could be waiting right there in the we got plenty of terrorists who could be waiting just to get activated. We don't know. And that's what scares me. Okay. Next phases. You ready?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. What's going on with you?
Yeah, I get it. We, should have some type of fear, but I think if we didn't have these things in place, then we got to question how will we feel safe and have ever had the ability to feel as safe as we are now. I mean, a lot of us are not willing to go stand on the front lines and execute these things to make sure that we are in these spaces to be able to be comfortable in the first place, So I think we have to have some level of respect for it, like I think you do. But I think a lot of people don't have enough respect to, actually understand why this is going on and why it may be necessary that we do get involved. And I was hoping that we would never have to get involved in something like this.
So why do you
But
think? So why do you think it was necessary for us to get involved now? Why do you think that?
The promise that they will never let a a nuclear weapon be formed. I don't know. And I have pushbacks for this administration. Far as like, how come they can't tell us exactly what the evidence of what happened? Like, like not what just happened transpired, but the fact that like how did they know that there was actually this going on in these specific plants that
Exactly.
they targeted?
Exactly. Exactly.
I do question it, and I'm gonna continue to keep looking for more answers on that. I'm not sure if there's any answers out there,
But
but
listen to this. Listen to this. Tulsi Gabbard. Remember Tulsi Gabbard?
mhm.
She is. I forgot what her position is. Tulsi Gabbard. Gabby. What is she? Tulsi Gabbard. Anyway, she is the director. I don't know who she is. I think she's the what is it? What is she called? I forgot what she is called. Damn. She works for President Trump. I forgot her dog. She's the director. There she is. Okay. She's the director of national intelligence. She came out and she said that any weapons they may or may not have are far-fledged, years away from being enriched with uranium enough for them to make nuclear weapons. They were years away. This is what Tulsi, their director of national intelligence, said a couple weeks ago. Trump was asked about why are we going to war if this lady says that they're years away from making a nuclear weapon. Trump said she don't know what she's talking about. This is your director of national intelligence. So you take the word, Trump takes the word of Benjamin Netanyahu, who says they're weeks away from making a nuclear weapon, weeks away, but our director of national intelligence tells you that they're years and years away from making it, and you believe Israeli people over your director of national intelligence. Why the hell did you hire her if you weren't going to listen to what she say? Okay. Why did you hire
I get what you're saying.
You're supposed to take our intel. You're supposed to take what our people say. You're not supposed to take the intel of some other countries in, because they could be lying. They could have their agenda. And I believe Benjamin Netanyahu, Bibi, got his own agenda. He wanted this war because Biden told him, we're not going to war with you. There's no imminent threat. Biden said that to Bibi Netanyahu. And Bibi got into the ear of Donald Trump. And now we're right where we at. And I get it. We're not supposed to we didn't want them to have a nuclear weapon. But we weren't willing to go to war to stop them, were we?
Nope.
We got dragged into this because of Bibi Netanyahu, the leader of Israeli people. Right or wrong, we weren't willing to go to war to stop this building of nuclear weapons, the enriched uranium that they had. We weren't willing to do anything about it because we already had intelligence that said they were not close to making a nuclear weapon. They were 60, I think it was like 65, almost 70% up to uranium enriched to make a bomb, almost 69%, 70%. But that's not 100%. That's not all the way ready to make a nuclear bomb. Watch the news. That's what y'all do. You watch the news and see if the news gonna tell you the truth. Not that spin shit y'all get from Fox News. Not that. Look at the news. Look at the information that leading up to this. Who said what? What was conveyed? That Tulsi Gabbard lady, she's the director of national intelligence. She said Iran is years away from making a nuclear weapon. Why would she say that just weeks ago and then turn around and the president said, oh, she don't know what she's talking about? Because they're trying to spin a narrative to support us going to war. They're trying to make it, make an excuse for us to go to war when they know fucking well we never should have went to war. That's what they're doing. It's trying to paint a narrative. Let's say that they had access to uranium, and it was made up of 70%. I keep forgetting. Enriched uranium leads to nuclear bombs once you get to a certain percentage or whatever. They were up to 79 or 69%, where they could have started making the nuclear weapons or whatever. Yes, Tulsi Gabbard said they were nowhere near making a nuclear weapon. They were years away. Then Trump gets on the horn and says she don't know what she's talking about. Then here we hear the drum beats from Bibi Netanyahu. We hear the drum beat. They got a weapon. We got to stop them. We got a weapon. We got to stop them. Then Trump. I got to think about it. 2 weeks. I got to think about it. 2 weeks. 2 weeks. Give me 2 weeks. I got to think about it. It ain't been no damn 2 weeks since he said that. Am I lying? Am I lying? When did
he said within 2 weeks.
He said within
2
normally
weeks.
when he say within 2 weeks, normally when he say that, it'll be closer to the 2 week, not closer to 2 days later.
Yeah.
Okay.
Did you listen to the response from Netanyahu
Of us doing what? Of us having a fight?
of the
Strikes?
response after the attacks were done?
What was
What he was talking about, like the peace. He said, I think it's absolutely right to get peace through strength and all that. What is your takes on that? I haven't heard you touch on that yet.
it's fine.
What do you think about that? Peace through strength.
Strike.
Yeah,
Okay. What
what
was his response? Let me see. I was trying to get a
he
picture.
said it's absolutely going to give us peace, and he was kind of, it sounded like he was happy about it. He was really happy about it. So
Yeah, he was
I
like,
don't know.
it was a historical turning point. Okay.
Yeah,
Done what no other country could do. And of course he's happy. Of course he's happy.
right.
First comes strength, then comes peace. Asserting that the U.S. acted with a lot of strength and forged the pivot of history. Okay. You can't tell me that President Trump didn't have this in his mind all along. He gonna try to spin it, but he gonna get some of you goofies out there to believe what he's saying. But he already had this in mind. Okay. He already had this in mind. I know China and Russia. I know, Rain. He already had. See, we could be walking into a trap. We could be walking into a trap. What if China and Russia did decide they were going to hook up together and get us out the picture? What do we do? Okay. What do we do if that's the case? Who do we have that's a strong? Would Canada fight with us? Would Mexico fight with us?
I don't know.
Who? If China, we are the three biggest dogs on the block. China, Russia, and us. If China and Russia decided they were going to get together and come against us, who would fight with us? Who would fight with us? That's the thing. We be ass out there. Can Israel hold their own and help us? Would Canada be willing to help us? That's what I'm saying. We gotta. That's what I'm saying. we ass out there. We are being looked at as the aggressors, as the people who started this shit. Israel started this shit. And you pulled me into it. That's all I'm saying. Y'all make sure y'all hit the like button coming in. I hope everybody been hitting the like button. This was just an impromptu stream that I wanted to do. I wanted people to, have an opinion about what was going on in the Middle East and how we felt about it. Okay, how people felt about it, how black folks felt about it. Are we willing to go to war? Are we willing to go to war with these people? I wasn't willing to
Are you able to pull up videos and do reactions to them?
Huh?
Or you not really wanting to do that?
Reaction to videos of what people say?
Yeah, like some of the news clips are.
Yeah, I have
Oh,
what I have? I had CNN in the background. I had CNN. I was gonna do CNN. Let me see. I got them in the background. Hold on. Okay. Because it was really what I really had going on was the wait a minute. I really had the background of let me see. Hold on. It's so many people talking. It's just so many people talking. It's just a sad thing that so many people talking. Hold, hold on. Let me pull one up. One clip. We have responsibility for the facts. Okay, hold on. I got to turn the volume down. And then hold on. I hate the fact that wait a minute. I hate the fact that we just got to sit here and take everything that goes on. We just got to sit here and we got to take it. And I don't like the fact that we are in the middle of everything and these people, this is real life stuff. This is real life stuff. Hold on. I'm looking at this one channel, but I don't want them to say I can't do it. Okay. I don't want them to say that I can't do it and then I'm in trouble. Hold on.
I think you can react to most of these news outlets. They don't mind. I don't think they be tripping on it.
Yeah, but if I play the clip too long, you know what I'm saying? I don't know.
Yeah, as long as you leave commentary, I think it's fine.
Okay, hold on. Left in the dark. Ranking members left in the dark. See, hold on. And I didn't wanna, really deal with people who stated you. Hold on, let me pull this guy up because I know he a goofball right here. I know he gonna say something crazy because I know he's just gonna say something crazy because he always do. Okay, here we go. Here we go. Here we go. Hold on. Former pen. Oh my God. He said, yo, wait a minute. Wait a minute. This is I'm gonna pull him up. This is Mike Pence.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, I know, right?
He might.
Mike Pence. He oh. This guy. Hold on. It's a commercial.
Like some ribs down. That look like Black Friday. Juneteenth going on there.
I know,
Like
right?
commercial.
Saying, ooh, no. Okay, here we go. Let me pull the volume up. Where's the volume? Oh no, don't do that. Don't do that. Here we go. Okay.
American Freedom, founder of Advancing American Freedom. Sir, thank you so much for being here. I just first want you to react to what you just heard.
Well, I think what we're witnessing is that on Friday morning, the state of Israel sent a deafening message of resolve over the skies of Tehran that Iran will never be allowed to possess a nuclear weapon. And witnessing in the skies just moments ago, you can see the reason why. During our administration, we made that clear. I'm grateful for President Trump's strong statements of support for Israel and its action. But, I want to say emphatically that if the world knows nothing else, the world should know this. America stands with Israel. And while Israel acted alone on Friday, Israel is not alone. And I am confident that Israel has the ability by itself to defend itself. But I know that the American people will continue to stand with Israel, and our resources in the region will continue to stand ready, like those THAAD missile systems, like the Iron Dome that we help provide to Israel to make sure that the people of Israel are protected every much as bit as that they can be during this time of conflict.
And you alluded to this, but President Trump said again last night the U.S. had nothing to do with Israel's attack against Iran. He also said that he spoke with Russia's president, Vladimir Putin, that the two are agreeing that the conflict between Israel and Iran should end.
So do you believe that he didn't know anything about the damn attack?
It could be that, because I don't know, man. It
You
might
honestly
be.
believe that Benjamin Netanyahu attacked Israel, attacked Iran, and didn't know, and President Trump didn't know nothing about it.
Okay, say that one more time.
You think that Israel attacked Iran and President Trump didn't know nothing about it?
Mm, yeah, I'm pretty sure he knew everything about it.
Okay,
Yeah.
so when I know something about it, and I know if you gonna go in there and you gonna punch the bully, if you punch the bully and then you turn around and look at me and say, "Hey, I need your help," don't you think the person that you asking for help or your ally, don't you think your ally already know that you can't win? I'm coming over there to help you because I know you can't win. But if you start a fight, that means I got to fight too, right?
Mm-hmm.
So President Trump knew he was gonna start that fight. He keeps saying, "Oh, President had nothing to do with that. He don't know nothing." Yeah, you did. You knew exactly what was gonna happen before it happened. You knew he was gonna do it. You knew you had to get involved. You knew this. You think that man wouldn't have started? You think that Benjamin Netanyahu started a fight and President Trump didn't know he was gonna start a fight, and then they asked President Trump to get into it? Your thoughts, sir. Your thoughts.
It's a hard one to call. I think they were going in with the intentions of not necessarily having to take these, but I think they knew. I think that's how they presented, as they wanted to go in without having to. I think that's the way it's kind of set up. Like it's just kind of given to us, but then they already know that the likelihood of it is going to happen, or the likelihood of it's not going to happen. But I mean, I think that it might be a good thing, might be a bad thing. I don't like to be the type of person to say, "Hey, let's just see how it ride out." Like I'm not a go with the flow. I need absolutes as well. And I think they lied to the people in one manner, in another. I don't know because I could still be wrong. I still leave the space for opportunity. I'm wrong, but I believe we shouldn't have went to war with anybody. We should let them handle it themselves. And we really had nothing to do with this, but obviously they found reason, and I don't like the fact they found a reason.
I don't understand why we had to. I mean, I get it. They wanted us in it. I get it, but we didn't need to. We just didn't need to, man.
Not answering to worry or fret.
All right. Ambassador Bitilich, on that, no credible answer from the Iranians throughout the course of last few weeks and months. The Iranians have been saying that their nuclear program is only for peaceful purposes and for civilian programs. But you say that it's high time Iran needs to wake up. Do you think Iran will perhaps come on the negotiating table? Because every time any kind of diplomatic talks were initiated with Iran, they were bombed, including the latest, because the Iranian foreign minister was having talks with the European officials when US conducted the strike. And the last time when Israel conducted the preemptive strikes, Iran was in talks with the US on nuclear program.
See, we were in talks with them. Against for a nuclear program for them to come to the table. Now Rubio says we willing to talk. After you bombed me, after you punched me in the face, now you willing to talk to me? You better get your ass up out of here. Well, I'll put some hot lead on your ass. You better get your. That's what Iran is saying. They saying, oh no, oh, so now you want to talk after you punch me in my face and then kick me to the ground and then kick me and then kick me some more. Now you want to talk. I wouldn't, no. Then I'm a pussy. Right or wrong.
You're right. You're right.
You don't give me no choice. I'm going ham on everybody. You just kicked me in. Israel came over there and kicked me in the nuts. Then you joined in. You came over there and you started punching me. And now you done took away all my ability to fight, or most of my ability to fight. Oh no. Now you done hit me when my pride hurt, because the world knows that I got my ass handed to me. So now I got to show you what I'm all about. And you, as a man, as men, you understand that. I can't look like no sucker. So I got to come at you somehow, some way. My thing is, how are they going to come at us? That's the whole point. How are they going to come at us? Black America, are you dead? You got a dead link, or you there?
I'm here. Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you. What do you say? What you say?
Yeah, I hear the fear in your voice. I'm wondering, why are you so scared or apprehensive about this oncoming conflict? It's conflict. It's something that happens all the time.
Mm-hmm.
Like, we've been going through it for years. It's part of what people do. You know, countries go to war, people die. It's part of what happens.
Right.
That's it.
Right.
So I'm just
we survived, but we went through 9/11 too, right? And we never expected anybody to hit our shore. These people have only gotten. Iran is even worse than Iraq was. Iran more than Iraq ever did. They have terrorist organizations, 3, 4, 5 of them that we have heard of, and they strike fear at people's hearts. These people have done nothing but learn and train and figure out what went wrong with the 9/11 attackers. What can we do better than what those 9/11 attackers have done? What can we do better than them? You think they ain't been studying ways to hurt United States?
Yeah, I mean, they have HQ, but once again, I don't see it as a problem, right? It's just like I looked it up. I was like, when you had mentioned like 1,100 people died, almost 1,200 people died. It sounds bad, but almost 9,000 people in this country die every day. And right. And you said it's for a myriad of reasons. And I dig it. But it's something that happens. It's them people have been killing each other for years. How do you stop two dogs from fighting? You either throw a bigger dog in, or you gotta kick one of the dogs away. Somebody or something has to intervene to stop other things from happening. When it was World War II and the Germans was doing what they was doing, it was the Americans that came in and stopped them from doing what they were doing. It's just part of what we as Americans, for the most part, do, HQ. It's just part of what we do.
So do you think that you don't think it's going to end here, or do you think it's going to end here?
What do you mean? Here in our country?
No, end as far as, do you think this is the end of it, and we don't have to get no more involved?
No, I think it's going to progress, right? I think it's going to progress, but the whole thing about it is America holds too many cards, right? We hold too many cards. You said who's going to fight with America? HQ, we have the UN to fight with America. So that means every country, all of the nations that are in the UN, they're going to fight with America, HQ. Yeah, Russia is not a part of that. Russia and China, they may link up, but it's not a big deal. If Russia gets into it with America, then it's going to be something. But it's just part of what happens. It's part of the circle of life. I understand though, and it seems like a scary thing, but it's just because, for one, I always like to say, you as a woman, you don't understand violence, right? And you're right. America just punched that dude in the face. Now, it's no telling what this guy is going to come back and do. And it's going to have to be something horrific. But then America will just go to carpet bomb and destroy. It won't even be, it'll just be a desert after America is done with doing what they're doing. If they go that far.
So you don't think they would come to Ashura? You don't think they would come here?
Iran can't. No, Iran can't make it over here. Not, you mentioned 9/11. Everything that happened on 9/11, HQ, those people were already here in this country. They were on our planes in this country. They were already here. Some of them were citizens and stuff like that. Yes, something small like that happened. 3,000-4,000 people died. It's not for some people it was a life-changing event, but for some people when their mother or their father passes away, it's a life-changing event. You see what I'm saying? So it's just people understanding violence and how violence is,
My question is, do you think we should have got involved?
I don't really get down with Israel, so I will say no, we shouldn't have got involved. But if it is going to stop or put a hold to it, I don't think Iran shot any bombs off today. So that's a good thing, right? So as long as Iran isn't shooting anything off, nobody's going to shoot anything off to them. You see what I mean? They've been bombing for the last 4 days. America put their big hand into it, and now there's nothing. It's crickets. So as long as nobody, and if you retaliate, once again, you can retaliate against America. But if you retaliate against America, it's not going to be good for you as a country. Right? It's not going to be good for you as a country because we hold too many cards. Unfortunately, we are the big dogs on the block.
See, they said, wait a minute. He said, a Rainbow Kid said that the biggest, what is the biggest one? The biggest one was the Fordo, the FORDOW. That was the biggest one. But I thought they had gotten that biggest one. That was my understanding. Didn't they get the biggest one? Fordo, Isfahan.
You mean the biggest plant?
Yeah, the biggest plant. Wasn't that in Fordo and then Natanz?
Yeah. The whole thing about it is they don't believe what Iran said, right? Trump don't. I believe what Iran said because nobody has just been dropping bombs, especially nuclear bombs. If you want to talk about bombs, nobody has been using any kind of nuclear proliferation to actually do anything. If you want to really mess up Israel, what would you do? You drop a nuke off on them instead of those little bombs. Those little bombs don't do nothing. You want to let somebody know that you're not messing around? You use a 45, not a 22.
Wait a minute.
You know what I mean?
I got a question. Wait a minute. Hold up. You mean to tell me Israel is this little yellow spot right here? This is Israel? This little
Yes,
yellow spot?
yes, yes. That's their country.
Attack this big ass country right here?
It's a bunch of countries side by side. Like if you go to the Middle East, well, you're looking at it right now on the map. But
Right.
when you go to the Middle East, it's like going from Atlanta down to Macon, and then so it's a bunch of they usually 1,500, 1,000 miles away from each other.
Mhm.
1,000 miles away from each other. They're not far from each other.
Oh, okay. Because I'm like, wait a minute.
Yeah.
But Israel is way smaller. So they knew that they couldn't win a war against these people.
That's not true. They're backed by the U.S.
No.
Everything
And if we
that
decided that we wouldn't go join it.
So our old F-16s, F-18s, all of our old planes, who get them? Our little brother, Israel. All of our old bombs that we decommission, and because we make new ones, who get them? Israel. So they have all our tanks, all of our old stuff. They get first dibs on it. So yes, they still have better shit than everybody on the planet. They still have better things than everybody. Nobody buys planes from China. You know why? Because their planes suck. Nobody buys any kind of armament from China or Russia except for somebody like North Korea, because they have garbage shit. America got the good shit.
Here's the thing: all of these other countries that's all these countries in the middle of it's only one, two. There's only two countries that keep them away from marching, I guess, over there. See, I'm thinking they on the same land, they can cross land. I'm thinking Israel is a bigger country than what it is, and apparently it's not that big. And then this huge Iran, this huge, almost big as the United States. This Iran is as big as the United States, right? I mean, the body is. It's almost as big, but not as big, right? And they definitely don't. We definitely have 3 times as many people as they do, right? That's for sure. But this Israel started a fight. You don't have enough firepower. You don't have enough. There's not enough people for you to beat these people right here if we left you alone. So you decided to start a fight. You the little brother, and you decided to start a fight, and then you came and called your big brother. Now your big brother got to fight. We can't hear you at all, Black America, at all. We ain't been able to hear you since I started talking.
I had it on mute. It's because they have the backing of the U.S. So with the backing of the U.S., they feel like they can do a lot more. That's all it has to do. And once again, it's just like Africa. When you go to Africa, Africa is one continent, but every country in Africa is different. If you go to Eritrea, you go to Mozambique, you go to any of these countries, they're all different countries.
Right.
It's not like America. We have states, right? You cross over from Nevada to California, going to Utah or Arizona. These are different countries and different people with different states of mind. They all have a different way of looking at things and all have a different way of doing things. It's the same thing in Africa with the Africans. So they're not far away from each other. So if you typed it in, why don't you type it in? How far is Israel from Iran? Type it in so we can get a better you can get a better view.
Okay. From Israel, from Iran. Okay.
Yep.
Let me see. How far? So it's only depends on where it is. 1,000 miles.
Yep, that's what I was telling you. It's 1,000 miles away. It's not far. That's
So
like driving.
basically, I can drive from the East Coast to the West Coast and a little bit more, and I'd be there.
It's 3,000 miles from LA to New York.
Oh, okay.
It's 3,000. So it's triple of what that is. You see what I'm saying? So that's basically you driving from Georgia over to the tip of Texas. That's basically where that's at. It's not far.
Man,
that's what I'm trying to tell you.
Yeah. That what is, but we're way far away from that. We are far away from there. So then Iran ain't gonna be able to Iran ain't gonna be able to actually come to this country and do anything unless they got sleeper cells, unless they do like they did on 9/11. That's the only way they can come over here. So we don't need to concern ourselves, basically.
No,
I would.
Oh, okay. They too far away. Okay. Israel, on the other hand.
Hey, Q, are you really that scared? Are you really that scared now?
Yeah. Of course I'm scared. They did 9/11.
Come on.
Of course
they
did 9/11.
Look, HQ, this is a part of why we need to have our women to be more thankful for where they at. This is the true testament to that.
Believe me, I am completely thankful. I am definitely thankful that we are where we are, and we have not made enemies or enemies of anybody that's near us, and we are allies over here. I am completely thankful, but you really don't know. I don't know the capability of.
It's not for you to. It's not left for you to have to know. In those kind of countries, the women have no say so. They don't have no worries about that. They're not even allowed to even think that way.
You just wake up and you got to get in the bunker. You got to sleep in the bunker for months.
If they tell you get in that bunker, they getting in that bunker. They stand behind their men, not side by side necessarily.
Hell no, I ain't finna try to fight none of this. This don't even make no sense.
You ain't got to.
They said the four door one is the one they couldn't get. I thought Trump hit the 4-door one. Did he hit the 4-door? He hit the 4-door. Natanz and Isfahan. Those are the ones that got took out. So, but they still look like they got 3-4 more.
Oh man,
they look like they got 3-4 more sites, but we don't know. But it is what it is. We got to deal with it. Give me your wait a minute, it's 12. Give me your thought. Give me your final thoughts. Next phase.
I'm here.
I say, give me your final thoughts, sir.
I think that we need to just sit back and let the professionals have at it, and just keep prayer and keep reporting on it, keeping people uplifted, and just continue to be America first, and make sure that we appreciate everything that in it that they doing.
Israeli first. We Israel first. We ain't no America first. We Israel first. For you to drag us into, for that little country to drag us into a war, we are subject to all these other people's wants, needs, and desires, and we can't be America first when we dealing with people. We dealing with countries that will drag us into wars that we don't want to have. Okay, ain't no way. He said,
"Ain't no way. Ain't no way."
He said, "No new wars in less than 200 days. We're in the middle of a damn war." That's crazy.
I mean, look, HQ, they might have actually forced their hand. We don't know.
Yeah, they did force the hand. I'm saying, why do we get in the position where the hand was forced?
So if we allowed them to take over that, then that would have gave them the opportunity. See, like, I don't know.
Did you hear my analogy? Did you hear what I said? My analogy? My analogy was this little skinny kid went over there and punched Iran, the big gigantic kid, in the face. And then the little kid, little kid who's Israel turned around and then looked at the United States, who is another big gigantic kid, and said, "Hey, I know I can't win this war, and you my ally, so come on over here and fight." Yeah, we were pulled into it. Don't nobody want to fight. I wasn't trying to go over there and punch that big bully in the face. We wasn't trying to do that. We were trying to have negotiation with. Today they were supposed to negotiate. They were supposed to go to the negotiation table today with Iran. United States was. That's off the table according to Iran. Iran said, "You better get your ass the hell up out of here. I don't want to talk to y'all. I'm finna show you what a wild animal can do." This is what. So this little Israeli dude went over there and punched the big guy in the face. Now we got to deal with it. We never should have been in a position where we had to deal with it. We should have made it very clear we are not you all on your own. Because if Trump would have made it very clear that you all on your own, Bibi would have never did this. Bibi would never do this because he been hollering about they had nuclear weapons for years, has he not? You seen him on TV. I seen him on TV at least 3-4 times saying they are close to having nuclear weapons. They're close. Even when Obama was president, they're close to having nuclear weapons. Even when Biden was president, they're close to having nuclear weapons. Why did he decide that he was going to do it now? When after years of him saying there was nuclear weapons over there, they finna have them. Years.
Because now somebody is there that's going to back him for it.
Mm-hmm.
He has somebody that's going to back him.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Trump is going to back you.
Right.
You get in and do stuff when people are going to back you. You don't go into business if you're not going to be fully funded yourself and not have any back.
Uh-huh.
He needs the back. It's a smart move.
Right.
It's a smart move.
Right. On Benjamin Netanyahu's part, he knew Trump was going to go with him. He knew it. That's why he did it this time. That's why he did it now. Biden told him, hell no, we ain't going to war with them people. We don't want to go to war with them people. Our people don't want no more war. That's why he didn't go to war when Obama was president, and Benjamin Netanyahu didn't go to war when Biden was president, because he knew they weren't going to back him in a war because the United States is tired of war. And then when Trump got in there, he was like, "Oh yeah, I got this dude. This dude gonna definitely follow me. Let me go and do what I got." You think he didn't know? You think President Trump didn't know he was gonna do them fire strikes on Friday? I mean, do the fire strikes when he did a week ago? Of course he knew. Of course he knew. And so he allowed him to do it.
He's just a bad person.
Right. He's just a bad person. He allowed you think that you think President Trump got dragged into this? No, he didn't get dragged in. He already knew that Israel was going to do it. He wanted to have cover so he could go in and do the war too. Trump wanted cover from Benjamin Netanyahu. Oh no, go on do the firepower, Benjamin. Go on attack him, and we gonna have your back. But I want you to tell people that you didn't know nothing about it. I want the news outlets to tell people that I didn't know nothing about it, so I can come in and save the day. Of course he knew about it. You think Bibi Netanyahu gonna attack somebody as little as they is, and United States president don't know about it? Of course he knew about it. That's why he's a liar, and he dragged the United States into a war. This Trump dragged us into a war. And that's what I'm pissed about, because you knew we were going this way. You knew.
I don't understand how they skip right over Iraq and like all these other little countries. Why is Iraq not if they feel that
they don't have jack shit? We tore all their shit up, right? Right, Black America, didn't we break them all?
Right. So and that's what I'm saying. So I got 4 kids in the military, right? 4 of them. 4 of my children are in the military. And you know, my past and traveling and stuff like that. Yeah, you go over to these places, it's nothing. You know what I mean?
Right.
Everything they have in those places is because of us now. You know, if they got lights and running water, why do you think Africa is such a shithole? Africa is a shit hole. It is not a place you want to go. You know why? Because they have rolling blackouts all the time. Their power doesn't work. That running water, and they gotta go from place to place to like it's horrible. All of the countries.
Right.
Now they do have some cities, right?
Mhm.
But for the most part, it's a horrible fucking place to be. Iraq, Dubai, Bahrain, different places like that, they got good shit because they fuck with America tough.
Mm.
The Israel, yes, it's a a bunch of, but they got good stuff over there because they fuck with America.
Mm.
All of the rest of the countries, Egypt, have you guys ever been to Egypt or anything? Like, you guys really need to travel and see. You know, they're going to treat you badly, but you're American, so they're going to treat you better than they treat their own blacker or darker people that are there. Other than that, the black people over there, they get treated like slaves still. You know? So, but my thing was, Trump got into this because war brings money. And ever since he has came into office, people have been losing their homes. People have been losing their jobs. America is losing. How do you stop losing?
Brother Baba, show your face on the back end. I gotta see you a real person. Show your face on the back end, sir. Ma'am, sir. Baba ZX. Show your face in the back. Type, or show your face in the back. 1 and 2. I don't know. I get tricked. I'm goofy that way. You gotta show me. I don't want to put you on the stage and then you show me a dick pic or something crazy like that. I didn't have that happen. So I need you to show me your face before we put you on there, because I've never seen you before. Right? But Iraq has gotten they ain't got no firepower to get us. But then again, they are a huge country too, right? They're a huge country. Okay. You look naked, bro. Whoa.
None of them have the firepower to get us.
Laying in
None
bed,
of those.
but I ain't into all of that. That ain't my style. But I if I can, I don't know how welcome I'm gonna be. But I took issue with what the brother was saying.
Black America,
down there.
Black America or mixed faith?
Yeah, I took offense to his statement about Africa being a shithole. You sound like Donald Trump. I mean, isn't that what he called Africa, a shithole? That's the motherland. I never hear Italians talking about Italy as a piece of shit. I never hear Chinese people talking about China ain't shit.
Can I ask you a question?
Let
Can
me
I ask you
finish
a question?
let me finish making my
No.
statement. Let
Because
me finish
it's
making
prevalent to what you're.
I do
It's
courtesy.
prevalent to what you're saying right now, brother.
I do
Okay,
courtesy.
go ahead.
I do
Go ahead.
courtesy. And you're more than welcome to come to my channel. All right. But and it's a mutual respect. I'm taking issue with your statement. Colonialism and manipulation has tore Africa apart for millennia. And so to represent our homeland, because I mean we are Africans at the end of the day. We are the strongest of the Africans who survived the slave trade.
Hold on, y'all. I gotta go. Hold on real quick. Keep talking. I just gotta do something. Hold on.
All right. And let me just tie it up with this, brother. I think it is a sin and a shame to hear black people degrade Africa, no matter what the circumstance, without taking into account the history of how it has been torn apart, manipulated, enslaved, and they just getting their thing together, just getting to the point where they are finding their way again as countries. And I just took offense to that statement. Now, I may agree with other things that you talk about, but I don't think we as Black people should be degrading our homeland. You got it.
So Africa is our homeland, right? This is what you're telling me. Somebody that if you believe in that Black people have been here in this country for over 400 years, right? And Black people have been in America even before that, that you believe that Africa is our home country. That brother, that sounds absolutely ridiculous. That sound We are not the same as Africans. We don't celebrate the same cultures as Africans. We don't have the same religious views as Africans. Our women don't act like African women. Everything you said as far as Africa and Black Americans, we are American. Black people in America, were they our ancestors? They were our ancestors centuries ago. We have nothing to do with Africa as Americans. And I understand what you're saying. I dig it, Black people, but everybody came from Africa, bro. Even including white people. If that's what you believe, everybody is a descendant of Africa. Africa itself, whatever reason, the countries. Once again, I have 4 kids in the military. I've been to about 8 countries over there. It's a shithole. I'm sorry. It's like I've been to Hawaii, right, on vacation. But if you go on the backside of the island, like years ago, they still had the sewer, an open sewer running down the middle of the street. It was shitty. I think that we as Black people really need to kind of disassociate from certain shit, and Africa might be one of those things, bro. I don't know. I mean, but hey, if you want to stick on the African Bambaataa train, so be it. I'm not rocking and rolling with Africa, not like that. But we can disagree on it and be respectful about it, just like you said.
All right. I think we are Americans, but I think that we have been Americanized. Even the
Because
indigenous.
we're Americans.
I'm not.
Because we're
I
Americans.
didn't interrupt you though, brother. I have something called discipline, and that's what they teach you in the military. Discipline. I can hold my water. I know how to hold it until it's time to shoot, and that is courtesy and mutual respect as a man. Now, what I'd like to say is that the indigenous Africans that were here in this country, you're absolutely right. The cradle of life is in Africa, and Africa has been through a lot, but we are all not the same. That is a scientific fact if you want to get into science. Now, the European, they come from another species, and they call them, what do they call them? Do you know what they call them or what their bloodline is? Their bloodline comes from cave people, the Cro-Magnons. They were the descendants of a different race of human beings. But the cradle, the overall picture as far as humanity, yes, you're technically right, be it that it is the cradle of life. But I still see no value as a Black man to degrade the only place that we should cherish. America don't love you. My grandfather died in Vietnam. They did not care that he was a soldier. We've only been free, literally, free to act a fool in this country for 60 years. That's all. That's all. How soon we forget that we praise this country. We praise it. And it owes us so much because a couple of us are doing well. That's great. But the struggle is still continues. And what we witnessed in Iran yesterday, that wasn't a courtesy call. Everybody, let me just say this, and I'll be quiet. The United States government is the only country in the world that dropped 2 nuclear bombs on Japan. 2. The only country in the world to nuke anything on this planet. If Iran felt as though it was in their best interest to have a nuclear bomb, I kind of understand. Because if you don't have what they got, then they'll treat you any way they want to treat you. Who are we to decide you can't have a nuclear bomb? Who the hell is America that enslaves people, that robs people, doesn't have equal justice? They're the moral authority on who can have it on behalf of Israel, who are treating the Palestinians the same way this country treated black folk for 400 years, the same way that South Africa dominated and destroyed and conquered and enslaved pretty much second-class citizens. Who the hell are we to say, nah, you can't have no bomb? Well, the bomb basically is the only reason we ain't went up in North Korea mouth yet. Why we ain't go bang with them? Because they got that bomb. So you want to talk to them. You want to deal with them equally. You want to find solutions because it brings equality. And so I don't justify what happened. Do I understand why they did it? Yeah, I understand why they did it.
Right.
Because that just meant they can't fuck over them no more. That's all. That's all the bomb would have said. You're going to have to deal with us fairly. What about the Palestinians? I'm not going to get so smug and Americanized to the point where I can't see injustice and I'm down with the country that enslaved my people for 400 years. And again, we only been free for 60 years. And they taking back everything they gave us because we were more caught up as a people with gay rights, transgender rights. That's why Donald Trump got elected. And I agree.
I agree 100%.
Some things went too damn far, but that's because we took our eye off of the ball. Our women don't need us no more. We're not being the best men that we can be. So our women are turning to other women. I don't blame women who are lesbian. You're still a woman to me. You can call me a lesbian. I love women too. But I fault men for not being there for our women. Not being
For
there to
what?
comfort our women. I
For
don't blame
what?
them.
Why do we need to do that? Why do we need to do that?
Why do we need to do what, brother?
Why? Give me some good reasons why we need to be there for our women,
This is
and they don't
the
need to be there for
pro-black.
us.
This is the pro-black panderer. Just let him finish what he's
Yeah.
gonna do, so I can say
Oh
something.
no.
Go ahead,
Oh
brother.
no.
Finish what you're gonna say.
No, don't get me twisted. I'm not pro-black pandering anything. I'm realistic because we ain't nothing without our women, and our women ain't nothing without us. Period.
But
I
you say
mean,
they don't
is it?
need us. You say they don't need us, but you never said the black men that need them.
Never
So you're
said that, brother. You're not
painting in a way
listening
that
to
do we
me.
only need them?
Brother, you're
They
not
don't need
listening to
us.
me. I never said
Oh, I
a
listen
black
very well,
woman.
sir. I'm
No,
listening. I haven't said a word. What
I
do you mean I'm not
never,
listening?
I never said that a black
I
woman don't
always
need a
say somebody
man.
don't listen. This is how we know you're
Hold
pander
on,
because
hold on,
you
hold on.
No,
regurgitating the same stuff they
Hold on,
say.
X-Days. Hold
but
on. Let him
you
finish.
you can't attribute a statement to me that I didn't make, champ. I'm a warrior first. I'm a man all day, every day. And I love my women. And I think as a man, we got a responsibility to our women. How you gonna call yourself the head of your family and you run from your responsibility? I'm that brother. I believe men should step up and be men
Yeah.
and
All right. All right.
whining.
All right. All right. You done went on a whole soliloquy.
Okay,
Can
cool.
I
Go ahead.
respond?
I can
All
listen. I
right.
got discipline.
America did drop bombs on Japan. And guess what happened? The war stopped. Sir, we dropped bombs on Japan, right or wrong. The war stopped. Okay? Yes, America is a horrible fucking place. I'll say it all day, every day. I am one of those men that says a man should live, kill, and die for his woman. But if that bitch talks shit, it's gonna be some furniture moving. Okay? I 100% live, kill, and die for your woman. Do everything for your woman. But if she got something to say, you leave her ass, put her out on the side of the road. Okay? Dude, don't come over here with this. Men have never, in my lifetime, 50 plus years, I have never heard a man say he didn't need a woman. Never. I don't need her. Especially black men, we don't say that. But here you go. They don't need men. Yeah, you did say it. I heard the same thing that the young kid heard. They don't need men. I know why they switching to women. All of the things you say, sir, are detestable, brother. You talk. That's why I hate these pro-black dudes. They come over here with the black woman is God bullshit, and they don't see that the whole community is in shambles because a black woman won't get underneath the covering or the umbrella, as HQ likes to say, of a black man. Right, wrong, or indifferent, man. You need a checkup from the neck up, and I'm gonna end it like that. I'm
Yeah. Okay, cool. Let's have the conversation then, brother. First of all, every man ain't a man. We got a lot of man childs out here. All right. A lot of men who are focused on just them. A real man is concerned about his woman, his children, his family, his neighborhood, his community. All of that is the makeup of a man. Now, you say you're 50. Yeah, I'm 59, 1966. I've been around a little while myself. I've seen some things, and I walk different. First of all, the only way a woman is going to respect you is if you carry yourself a certain way. Our women are not there to be our doormat. And if you can't choose the right woman, then that's your fault. Don't talk about shaking up the room, moving furniture. Bounce. I got my own. I don't want to live with a woman. I got a place for a woman.
hold on.
Let me finish.
Hold
Let
on.
me
Pause.
finish.
Did you
Let
say?
me
Did you
finish.
say bounce? No. I don't
Yes.
want to get
Leave.
you to get to.
Leave.
You said.
Bounce.
So you. So
Bounce.
now you're saying. So
Now
now
you
you're
asked me
saying
to
leave your.
clarify.
Now you're saying
You
leave your
asked me
woman.
to clarify. I clarified. Let me
Okay. I just
continue.
want to make sure everybody
Yes.
heard. Now you're
If
saying if
yes,
the woman
no,
isn't
no,
doing
no,
right,
no, no,
you
no.
leave.
Let me
Go ahead.
finish, brother. You can't do. I'm focused, man. I'm very, very focused. If you needed clarification, I said bounce. The point being is, if you can't get along, I'm not tearing up nothing. I'm leaving. I'm choosing correctly. I'm not just looking at her butt or what she brings to the table. I'm looking at a whole host of things. What do you represent? Just like she should be looking at what you represent. And we think that our women are just supposed to take our shit just because she a woman. that makes you a let me find the right word. Not a narcissist. It makes you let me come back to that. It'll pop back in my head. But I think that we should have to earn one another's respect and love. What's wrong with that? You are not God's gift to women. You got to earn her respect. You got to put it down as
So
a
how do
man,
they earn our respect then? Can you answer that for us?
and vice versa, and vice
No, how?
versa.
We want to know, how do you think they should
Right. Yeah.
earn our
How,
respect?
great wise one? How, great wise
All right.
one, do we earn a woman's respect? Please tell us.
All right. Do you got children, brother? You got children? Let's start there. Do you got a
Yes.
family? Okay.
Yes.
So that's the
33
beginning,
years.
right?
33 years. Yes.
Okay, cool. That's the beginning right there. We can all wine
What?
and dine them. Let me finish. Don't interrupt me, fam. And I swear I'll be quiet and I will listen
So
to
so
you.
you earn her respect at the point that you make a family with her. That's what you're saying?
Brother, if you would allow me to complete a thought, maybe you can get it. I don't do
Well, I want
deflection.
clarification before I go
Okay.
further.
If you can just listen, you should be able to pull it
Sir,
together.
I asked you to clarify, and that's it. That's all you have to
Champ,
do is clarify. Is that
champ,
is that what you're saying?
what I am saying is that we can all wine and dine. We can all impress initially in any relationship. But where the rubber hits the road is when it comes down to honesty, respect mutually, and if you should bear children, then that is where the game really begins. And at this age, we ain't bearing no more kids. All right. I ain't trying to. I ain't trying to because I need a grown woman. I don't need no kids in my life, no youngins. I want a grown woman that likes Frankie Beverly and some other good music that I enjoy. But that's a part of the game too. You got to make sure that you're on the same page as far as intellect, your culture. I heard you say that we don't have culture. Well, why? We got culture. We just don't hold on to it. We don't embrace it. So when it comes to developing a relationship, like I said in the beginning, you look, with your eyes. It's always infatuation. We look at something, we like it. Then you want to get to know it. And as men, we say, oh, yeah, I bet you she good in the bed. But she may not clean the house. She may not cook. She may not, she may want to smoke weed all day. She may want to drink. But you just looking at her physical attributes. And then you find out later these other things are things that you can't tolerate. That's your fault. That ain't her fault. You should have peeped the game from the beginning. Just like a woman is responsible for her choosing of a man. If you know that Negro got 2 children already, he ain't taking care of, why you want to get pregnant by him? Why would you want to choose this dude who's already proven he's a failure? You know what I hear? And I'm going to be quiet. You know what I hear more men pissing and moaning about? Paying child support. Who got to tell me to take care of my child? It shouldn't even exist. And then you wonder why women are repulsed by men because you whine too much. If you want your woman to lean on you, then you step up. You be that leader. You step up. You give her the latitude to be a woman and not be a fighter or have to fight with you or or debate with you about mindless dumb shit. I want a woman that's secure in herself. I want a woman who respects herself before anything. She's got to have a standard for the young man out there. She's got to have it. She might have a nice body, dog. I understand that. I was a young bull too. She might look good. She might be a freak in the bed. Oh, wow. But after you get that, then what? Then what? Now she
What's your views on marriage?
I mean, I think it's a beautiful thing if you can find it.
So you
My
so
my
you
question
saying
is,
that there
are you
may not
married?
be.
Hold on. Are
No,
you married?
no, no. I actually asked the host. I don't know if the host is married or not, but I did check in with
She
her.
she she, she was married for 30 years. Are you married?
I just said no. I said when I
Brother,
first met
then
you,
then respectfully, then respectfully, you are the problem. This is
mm-mm.
what this
No,
is
no,
what
no,
I
no, no,
constantly. No, no, no. Hold on.
bro.
Hold on.
You
You just
acting
spoke.
like you know
Bro,
me.
bro, you
You
just
acting like
spoke
you know
for
me. No, you took you
I
took a
do.
little bit of information and you think
Listen,
you know me. You don't know
listen.
me. You don't.
You're my older brother. You're
No,
all
I'm
my
your older.
cousins.
Listen
You're
to me. I'm your
you're you
older
Baba,
brother.
you
No,
hold
let me
on,
give
Baba.
you
Hold
more.
on.
Let me
Let
give you
Mr.
more.
Black. Hold on, Baba. Let Mr. Black respond. Mr. America respond.
because everybody was quiet while you talked for the last like 8 minutes. You are my older brother. You are my young uncles. You are my older cousins. You are that of the generation X that we younger generation X looked at and said, you know what? He smoked weed. He smoked crack. This nigga in and out of jail. I don't want to be this nigga. You are that dude. You're not married. You're trying to talk about something that you can't talk about. You're not married. Like I said, 33 years, finna be 34 years with the same chick. Yes, I got kids. I got a gang of kids. But yes, I'm a dad and a father and a husband. Brother, when it comes to women, don't mention them no more if you're not married because you're not the poster child or somebody that can actually say anything on a man being a man to a woman if you're not married. I am a ex drug dealer and gangbanger. I can't say anything about being a banker because I was never a banker. Don't talk about what you don't know. You don't know shit about being a family man because you're not married. You are full of shit. You are one of these pandering motherfuckers that nobody should listen to. You're a horrible, detestable person, bro. Go crawl back under the rock that you fucking came from.
Mm. Next
Okay, cool.
phase.
Now give you my let me
But you
give
changed it to hold on. You changed the topic. You came up and talked to Black America about Africa. This is
I,
where we
I,
went
I
all
did, but he just said a mouthful, sis. Let me address it. Let me give you my resume.
okay.
My name. My name is Devon. They call me Mr. Cannon. I raised a daughter. She's 27. She graduated from college. I got custody of my daughter in 1999. She was born in 98. I raised my daughter solo dolo. I own my own home. I sold drugs too back in the day. Can you dig it? I live in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. I thank God I ain't dead or in jail. You don't know me, nigga. You don't know me. I thank God that I'm still here. But as I got older, I got wiser. I don't brag about the things I used to do. What I did was I learned in what I did, and I have a business called Community Career Builders. And what I did was I provided training for underprivileged individuals in the community. I had a contract with the city of Philadelphia for $1.3 million. You don't know me, nigga. And I didn't get married because I couldn't find a good woman to bring home to my daughter. I got custody of my daughter when she was 5 months old. I didn't run from my responsibility. I didn't know how to birth babies. I didn't know how to do hair, but I learned. You don't know me, nigga. You don't know me at all. I'm not no kiss ass nigga. I stand on the square. And if you look at my avatar, that's my life. I belong to a couple of organizations. See, a presumptuous nigga is a losing nigga. You perceive what you think you know. Ask me. I don't got a problem telling you because I lived through it. The 80s, boy, in the 80s, yeah, I was that bold. I ride motorcycles and I love fast cars. You dig? And I still got that shit. I ain't no bum. So I don't have too much mercy for grown ass niggas whining. At this stage of the game, you should be teaching our young brothers something instead of pissing and moaning all the time
Mm.
about women, about paying this or doing that. No, I never was married. No, never married because my responsibility became my child. And even though I had the choice of what type of woman I wanted, I couldn't find the right kind of woman for my baby. And I'm proud of that.
Mm. Next
I,
phase.
You dig
You had to say, hold on, let next phase respond. Let next phase respond.
I'm trying to figure out how he got to this point where the black woman is out for independency and she don't need the man. And then he came over to men complaining about child support, and how did all this come from the motherland? And this kind of really disconnected from most of us as a reality. We're not really connected to the motherland because we most of us don't have lineage lineage still left in Africa. Maybe that is our descent, but that is not. There is no direct lineage that we know of, like our actual families still there. So understanding that we were given away, we were sold out. We don't have that same connection anymore. They took that from us, and it was allowed by these people. But I will say this: for you to come up here and then say, "I'm not married," and then have these views that are not aligned with anything that we see as successful, I think you may want to take an opportunity to look at what you're saying and see how you can bridge what you're saying with us and see if there may be room for improvement of what you're saying, because I'm one that don't believe that you start your get your respect from a woman by having establishing a family with her. I think it's by your accomplishments and resources and how you build a character before you get to her. And I think that's where you should be getting the respect. But but for some reason you said it starts there. I think it's earned before you get to the woman. I think you become a husband before you find her as a wife. So, I don't think that's where it starts, and I think that's closely aligns with what Black America was saying, the panderism, and what you're saying is very close to the panderism that's being promoted and being projected out here to women.
Wait a minute,
That
hold
is
on.
mis.
Next level, next phase. What do you mean
Mhm.
pandering? What do you mean he's pandering? What does that mean? What do you mean?
The talking points he's using is close to line to panderism. That only starts when, like, okay, a lot of black women would say, "I'll be a wife when you make me a wife." Well, you're supposed to become a wife before you even met. You need to already have the things that's in your head. You already need to be proactively have these things going. Like, I get it, it's not gonna be all across the board, but that's at best. That's at best. And when he's saying you don't get respect from a woman till you have a family with her. I don't think that
I
should be
never said that,
promoted.
black man.
That's
Black
Okay,
man, I
panderism.
never said
phase.
that.
Okay, phase. Let Baba respond, please.
I don't have a problem addressing anything that you say, but don't attribute things that I did not say in a conversation. If you have a talking point, that's fine. Just don't attribute it to me. I said we need each other. And your definition of success I don't know exactly what you mean by that. I've been on top of the world. I've been on top of the world when I was younger. I mean, what do I got to prove? I ain't got to prove nothing to nobody. If you want to talk about, being in the street, that ain't a college degree. I've been close to death, been shot twice. So
Yeah,
what?
Baba, but Mr. Baba,
Hmm.
address his point. Address his point that says you're pandering to women.
And that is confusing because I don't understand what is pandering. Pandering for what? What am I pandering for? I'm not asking for nothing. A panderer is somebody who is looking for something. I mean, do we truly understand the definition of the words we're using? I'm not panhandling, pandering for nothing. I'm giving my position based on my wisdom, based on my experience and my perception. You can pander. I'm not looking for a click and a view. I'm not trying. I came up here to really talk to the woman. I listened to some of her videos. I think she's an attractive woman. I wanted to see, who she was. I didn't come up here to bang with no brothers, but if I hear something that's out of order, I'm going to speak on it.
Okay.
Period. I didn't come up here because I wanted to talk to you or the other brother. But when you talk about Africa as a shithole, you sound just like Donald Trump. And I'm not going to appreciate that. That's the person that said it. And we got a lot of these black MAGAs out here. Black MAGAs, black folk that think that they better than other black folk. Well, what makes you better? What makes you better? Am I pandering because
I
the
never
world?
said that before, and I think there's some beautiful things going on in Africa, but there is some also horrible things going on in Africa. But it is a much bigger continent than in here in the U.S. to manage. So I think
No,
it's a lot more countries in one and not states. So it's managed differently. I don't really care what goes on in Africa because I ain't in Africa. And I have
well,
no ties to it other than it says that's or we all came from. So
you know
I
what?
don't really care for that. I really don't care
Let me
for it,
share
man.
something with you, man. I don't want to bore you, but we actually in my family, we found, and I could show it to you right now. We actually did a family tree, and we found our ancestors back to 1708. 1708, and it was done through the census. I'm African. I'm a descendant of African slavery. That's what I am, period. And I'm not ashamed of it. I'm not trying to be this or trying to be that. I accept my history, but I know my history goes beyond the slave trade. I understand my history is building the pyramids. I know my history is mathematics and science and a lot of other things. I don't limit myself to just American history. Therefore, I'm not going to shit on Africa. It's a continent. I'm not talking about an individual
Africa
country.
is a shithole, bro. Africa is a shithole. That's why everybody running from Africa to all the surrounding countries and including America. You don't see Black America running from Black America to Africa unless they
Brother,
misguided and misunderstanding of where they come from and they power and their heritage. But they running the fuck out of Africa quick. They have been
and
for a long time.
I call that being Americanized.
What's
That's
wrong
what
with being
that's all.
Americanized with America?
There ain't nothing wrong with it, but
I mean, there's problems with the
again,
Western mindset, but we not
it is
African. That black African American
you all.
movement was something that started in the 80s. In the 80s.
n-
That was
No,
propaganda.
I'm a student of Marcus Garvey. I'm a student
He's not
of
black
Malcolm.
American.
Excuse, brother. Let me just complete the thought. I don't mind you debating it. I'm telling you what I study. I'm not trying to compare. I'm just saying, I'm a student of Marcus Garvey. I'm a student of Prince Hall, the symbol you see on your screen right now. Prince Hall. the first African American to want to liberate black folk in this country. Right there. That's
Bro,
one
bro,
reason.
we get your point, but can I ask a brief question? It'll be so brief. But even when you say you're African American, you're acknowledging that there is an ethnic difference between yourself and continental Africans, correct?
There is.
All right. Well, I guess you and the other brother on the same. I think y'all was talking past each other, but you actually agree with each other.
And that might be the case. I'm just saying I would never I never hear Chinese people degrading China. I never hear
But they
Portuguese.
don't.
Hold on, hold on. You can compare. I'm making a point. I never hear Portuguese people talking about Portugal is a shithole. I never hear Brazilian people talking about Brazil or Venezuela or Mexico. I understand all of that. But I'm saying, if you don't love where you come from, you don't love yourself. You're
All
in
right, you
denial.
let
You
me
want to
before you
erase
move from
your
that point.
history.
You said that you don't hear Chinese people talking shit about China. China. If there was 500 years of Chinese people plus more being in one place, they wouldn't even be associating themselves with China. They still have roots in China. They still have family in China. Clearly, Mexicans think Mexico is a shithole because they don't want to fucking go back. So obviously, there's a problem there that they see, and they would rather be over here. But we don't. What connection to Africa do we have to say? How many? My people are from here. I'm not African. You may be African, but I'm not African. So my people are from here. My lineage starts here. So I have no reason to not say Africa is a shithole. And it's a war torn country on all different sides of Africa. And it's been like, it's unfortunate, you know, I feel bad for it. There's empathy there, but that's not my problem. That's the motherland of everybody. That's the cradle of life for everybody on this planet. But that's where it stops. I'm not African American. That's a
Can I ask you a question?
that's political propaganda started in the 80s. I'm not that. What's up?
Let me
Of
ask you a
course, brother.
question, brother.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Your history doesn't start with American slavery. And if
No, I never
you
said that.
let me finish. Let me
Hmm.
finish. If you limit yourself to not going back to Africa and having pride in Africa, your history as an American begins as an African slave.
Not at all,
That's it.
because I acknowledge that my people was here before the transatlantic slave
The
trade.
indigenous.
First, I acknowledge that my people, where I come from, not the indigenous, not the Native Americans, my people, black people, were here before. There's plenty of books talking about our influence on the
I'm
Americas
with you on that.
before. I acknowledge
I'm with
that
you
my
on that.
people were here before the transatlantic slave system. I acknowledge that I don't look, and none of my people look African. That's just a different. There are people here that are descendants of slaves that look African. You can tell that they are probably the people that came over on them boats, but we ain't all the same, and that's just what it is. And I don't have to acknowledge the cradle of life to acknowledge my history. My history goes back. Not only do my history go back before slavery, my history since slavery has enriched this entire world. My people is the foundation of the entire world. My people is the foundation of Western society, Western mentality, Western trends, Western music. Everybody want to be black, so I don't have to go nowhere.
And where did
I can take pride in what my people is without having to go and dissociate myself with shit I don't even understand. I don't eat
well
fufu and all that shit. That ain't my thing.
every
That ain't my bag.
Let him respond though. Let the elder respond. Go back
For
and forth.
yeah,
sure.
everything that you just described was prior to slavery, Doc. Everything you just described, the history, all of that is prior to. Now, after slavery, we've been in hell. We've been in hell, denied, enslaved, just because of the color of your skin. Anything that we did create in this country, they took from us. We got inventors that invented things, and we built businesses, and they took them and destroyed it, and made it their own. So anything that was productive in this country by a man of color or a woman of color, anything that was productive that you can brag on, can go all the way back to Africa. So why not embrace it?
It
Because
don't
since
go. It
slavery,
was created here, and it
wait
didn't
a minute,
stop being. You said to go back to Africa. It was created here.
when did we create?
Those things that you talking about were stolen. Those inventions, the shit with Thomas Edison stealing ideas from his slaves. All of that stuff was created on this land, but it didn't stop during that time. It's not like we just stopped inventing stuff and creating stuff during the sharecropping phases of Black American history. We've been creating stuff all the way through the blues, rock and roll, hip hop,
I agree with you,
legacy in
brother.
sports, entertainment, any outlet, any place that we can put creative thought and elbow grease into. We are still and have always been creating and
I
setting the
agree with
tone
you.
for everything. To this day,
But
we are
our
in tech. We are revolutionizing tech and AI right now. I mean, there's other people
I'm not
doing
gonna
it.
agree with that. I'm not
I
gonna
mean,
agree with that part.
we wherever we put our focus as a people, going to grow. So
And that's
there
the
is.
point. That's the point. Where will we put our focus?
And
Right now, we're more
being associated with Africa has never did anything positive for our community here in this land that we've been struggling and in hell going through. As you said, we were in hell. Being associated with Africa hasn't solved any of those problems. It just disassociates us from who we are and make us look at this country as an enemy, which ultimately creates more brick walls for us to have to go through to have success.
Well, brother, can I ask you this with all due respect? Whether you have an affinity towards Africa or not, I'm sure you acknowledge your African ancestry. So that is a genetic relation that's undeniable. So even if you
thank
say
you.
you're not African, and I'm not even going to debate you on that. You have to at least acknowledge that you are of African descent. And if we do a DNA test, you most likely got European ancestry, Native American ancestry.
Hmm.
And that's the point I wanted to make to the elder. Yes, we are genetically descendant from Africans. But the point is, and this is what the young brother was saying, and I actually agree with him. Everything that we created as a people in the U.S., we don't owe Africa credit for what we created here in the U.S. Do you follow what I'm saying? Just because we have African ancestry doesn't mean we have to credit Africans for everything that we created ourselves in the U.S.
Never said that either. I can agree with that. I don't think that there's a lot of things that we won't agree on. Again, don't attribute things to me that I did not say. I think if you can ask me a question,
No,
do
no, I
you
was
agree?
corroborating with all due respect, and
Yeah.
you're right. I'm not trying to mischaracterize you. I'm actually just saying that I agree with what the young brother was saying. All of the inventions that we as descendants of U.S. chattel slaves have created in the U.S., we don't owe
Mhm.
Africa credit for any of that.
No, we don't. We were innovators and we done a lot. I mean, we created the cotton gin. We created that. And it made this country more productive. But why did the black man create the cotton gin? We'll never get credit for it. It was because it made the job easier for the slaves in the field. But we were slaves.
we I acknowledge that I'm a descendant of Africa in the grand scheme of things, but that I can say that about every race and ethnicity walking around here. But we create and we do all of these things, and it's not mimic or even is it. We're such a far relative to Africa that you can see that we do stuff differently. They're not. There's nothing even close to the scale of what we do over here being done over there and hasn't been done over there in a long time. There's not. There's like that. The disconnect in how we move here, and it can't just be the environment. It's got to be deeper than just the environment. But there's nothing being done over there that's even close to what we have done over here. Or however many years you want to go back to. If you want to go back to the cotton gin, they're not moving the same over there. Because if our bloodline was over there, it'd be different. Africa would look and be moving a whole lot differently than the way it is right now.
Well, when I initially came up, what I pointed out was The reason for such disarray and lack of development is because the continent was colonialized. It was
But we,
colonialized.
but
It
we've
was
been going
colonialized
through.
by the French, the British, the Americans. I mean, everybody wanted a piece of Africa because of the minerals, the raw resources, all your diamonds, your gold, and now all of the other things that come out of Africa. And what they do is you keep the people down, and so you can rob them blind. So there, I would agree with you that they have not developed as fast as others, but they've been going through their own hell. Just
Okay,
like,
so let me just
let me
ask you
close it
one
out. Let me
thing.
close it
Okay,
out.
my bad, my bad.
Let me close it out. We've been going through our hell here for 400 years, right? Enslaved just because of the color of your skin. Well, they've been going through it too. They've been going through it too. Leopold. Do you know who Leopold is? He's like 10 times worse than Adolf Hitler. He was over there just chopping people's hands off. You know, Leopold killed like 5 million, 10 million Africans, enslaving them. They've been catching hell. Now, am I a pure African? Of course not. And a lot of Africans don't even accept American blacks. They say that we should have died. We should have fought to the death. There's a lot of political things there. But there were a group of Americans that went back to Africa, Nigeria in particular. A lot of black people went back home during the 60s and the 50s, and they did upgrade it. They did contribute to society, but the inner wars is what kept them down. I'm not going
So
to piss on them
I,
because of the way that they struggle. I'm going to say, yo, they got to do better. I'm with you. I'm with you.
I don't
But
want to.
here's
My
good,
bad, my
good,
bad.
brother.
I just ain't want to lose that beginning of what you said because I think that we keep agreeing and disagreeing. You said that they've been going through the same type of they've been going through their own type of hell, but we have been too. And my thing is the disconnect is shown in what we do in that hell. What is it about us that make us be able to innovate and recreate? We go through we got our own type of, you know what I'm saying, the CIA destroying the neighborhoods with narcotics and all
Yeah,
putting us in prisons and all that. We got our own. If you were to tell our story to people who outside of America, you would be like, it'd be sounding like some Hitler camps and you know, that same type of time. Like the way they've done our neighborhoods, the way that they turned us on to each other. Just the same as going on in Africa. But my point is they not we going through all of that and still leading and innovating the Western society. If we were going through that over there, we would be leading and innovating the African society still going through it. And that's a distinct difference in how different we are as a people. Maybe we just been in America for so long that we turned into our own people, however you want to call it, but we are definitely very much distant and appearance, mindset, survival skills,
culture.
our whole primal instincts, our culture, even on the surface level, but even just on how we adapted genetically to our environment has changed so long over this long period of time that is the differences is just, you know, I got love for all melanated people on this planet because all melanated people have gone through some type of hell through the colonizer. So I don't want to sound like I just say fuck Africa, but that ain't our problem. Our problem is here, and we are foundationally Americans, not MAGA Americans. Because I remember you speaking. That's what made me come up. You had spoke on talking shit about Africa makes you a MAGA. That's not what it is. We don't have to be red, white, and blue, Marine, hoorah, Americans, but we are Black Americans. And I think that it's better for the Black American youth to have more respect for the land that they dying and killing on if they really understood in this big black hole. Because when I grew up, everybody was on that African Bambaataa stuff, and it don't do nothing but disassociate you with where you at, where you going, and make you feel like everything around you is your enemy, and you can't take advantage of the opportunities that your people have died on this land for. So that's why I feel
Okay.
like it's problematic to be so Afrocentric when we should be more foundationally Black American minded, so that we can take more pride in where we at. Because now we feel like just a bunch of kids in a foreign land, and that mindset is destructive because that's not the case. You know what I mean?
Let me challenge you then. Let me
Yes, sir.
challenge you a little bit. All right. With everything that you just said, I'm not going to disagree with you that we could do better. But if we could get past little things like being black, what's black enough? You know, what, why can't we get it together? In this country, we can't get it together. We're fighting amongst ourselves over trivial things. The only time we see success is when we see a basketball player, a football player, a rap artist, a musician, entertainment. We still shucking and diving. We are not creating code. We're on an application now. YouTube. We didn't develop it. We don't have any institutions, any manufacturing, and we barely got, but I think it might be about 5 black banks in the entire country. We haven't progressed that much in 60 years. So when we talk about having a solid foundation and being proud, the only way that we're going to truly get anywhere, which is what most of Africa has, what we don't have, brother, is unity, solidarity. That's where it begins at. And as long as we are divided and we argue and we fuss and fight and we ain't got no institutions, when you go to work, you're going to work for somebody, unless you're an entrepreneur. And I worked for somebody for the better part of my life. Over the last 15, 18 years, I developed my own business and I went into business for my own self. But I didn't have a business that my father gave me. I didn't inherit anything. And one thing that we got to learn about this country is that it is a corporation. It's all business. It's all business. And until we learn that concept of unity, I admire solidarity. The Jews, perfect example. A Jew buys a house and he sells his house, he sells it to another Jew. He buys his shoes from another Jew. That is not, black power, rap. That's a reality as far as economics. Our dollars don't circulate within our community the way that their money circulates. We got to
So,
work from sun up to
so,
sundown, and we barely got anything to pass on to our children to give them a head start. A head start. If you white in America and you poor, they call them white trash. That's what they call them. You the bottom of the barrel. Ain't nothing lower than a black man. Ain't nothing lower than a black man than poor white trash. And white folk don't even like them. They hate them worse than they hate us because they make them look bad. Can you dig it? So
I'm with you.
what we gotta develop is unity, Doc. All
So
right.
look,
We
look, look.
we gotta stop the drugs. We gotta stop the killing. We gotta come together on issues that matter just to us politically. Because once you figure out the game, you should know how to play it. But we
So
gotta
You
he's
mind
we,
you mind
we
if I call you out on some stuff though? I mean, I think you're wrong. I think black people in America has been very uh uh in tech stuff. Like actually a black woman who made it even more possible for people to work from home, to work remote. The refrigerator tech. the ability to transport things, at a greater distance and all that.
Reefer,
That was
reefer
first
trailer.
the reefer trailer that was created by a black man.
So look,
I'm not
IBM.
talking about
let me let
inventions,
me
little brother.
let
I'm
me
not
let me
talking
let
about
me address
inventions. I'm talking about ownership.
let me address
Ownership.
everything you said a lot, and I want to. It was three main points. So one of
Right
them
on. I'm
was you
listening.
and I'm rocking with you, Elder. You know what I'm saying? Respect to you. I'm glad we could just have this dialogue for real. Like, you know what I'm saying? Because we all gotta. This is a stepping stone in the right direction with us having respectful dialogue. So I appreciate that, brother. But so that empathy that you kind of displayed for the colonism of Africa is definitely got to be replaced and put into the empathy for the brothers in America. And they have tribalism and all type of shit going on in Africa, but I don't really speak on their issues because that's their issues. But they do got their own they're not just unified. They solid though. They do some things that are solid and unified, but they got a lot of problematic parts going on too. But for us, we got to have way more empathy, love, and respect for each other. We grow up hard, but the empathy part comes in because we were under attack. Our black dollar used to circulate. Our black dollar in Tulsa, Oklahoma, used to circulate more than Vegas, and it got bombed. And there's examples of that all over the country, right? So
Mm-hmm.
there was an economical, physical, and shit down there spiritual assault by this government on us for a long time without with drugs, with government coming in and tearing up the homes, with police officers destroying revolutionaries. You know what I'm saying? Like it ain't like we just been here chilling since slavery. We've been fighting, and the only time that the fight seems to settle down is when all of these agencies and entities started doing mental warfare on us to the point where they devastated our communities to the point where there wasn't nothing but civil unrest. It's civil war, basically. You know what I'm saying? The 80s, the 90s, growing up in the early 2000s, civil war amongst the communities. That's where the gang violence came from because it was for dope, it was for survival, it was for resources. When you kept removing and killing and removing and killing, you don't have anything left. So we've been fighting. We ain't been just sitting on our ass. We used to have that's where the whole black power came from because we had to be revolutionary. Not we had to be revolutionaries. My bad. I'm talking. It's 100 degrees around this motherfucker, but we had to be revolutionaries because we were under attack by our own government, by our own police departments, even after the civil rights movement. Like they don't teach enough in school about the fact that just trying to take care of your people and make sure your people wasn't homeless and starving was a way to get police officers to run up in your house and murder you. You know what I mean? Setting up movements to make sure that children had school lunch was a way to get you deleted in this country. You know what I mean? So we got to have that empathy on the fact that, I grew up in the 90s. I was born in 1990. So I'm a descendant of the war on black men and black women from the 80s and 70s and 60s. I've watched what that's done to my people and how they had to move through necessity. And once you took the fighters, the soldiers, the black men out of the household, and then you subsidize the black man, the black woman with the government assistance and the government entities, so she don't, what I'm saying, have to replace that missing father that didn't perish or went to jail with, the government, with the enemy. Then you raise all of these kids who really just shit don't got no leadership, no guidance. You know what I mean? So it's a we could look back at the 40, 50, 60 years and see the effects of fighting the people of this country as, we down there, what I'm saying, POWs. But if we look back a little bit before that, we see the successes that we had in this country being together and being in full family units and actually circulating our dollars. I'm in a very black city. I deal with nothing but black business all the time. You know what I mean? Like as much as I can. The black dollar is circulating around here. So, you know, you will see it in the neighborhood. The neighborhood is starting to get better because it's black money going around. So it's happening, but we got to put that empathy back in our own people and not in the people outside of our country.
I agree with you. I truly do agree with you. I'm not not empathetic to our struggle here. I don't ever want to, give you that feeling. I just think we need to do better. I think we put other people before we put ourselves first, and we don't require certain things from people when we put them in the position. You know, we have to get what we paid for. A lot of people, and I don't know what your positions are on this subject I'm about to throw out there because I'm totally against it. And I don't know how I'm going to be treated, but I'm going to just say it. I think when you look at the gay movement, what they did was they took a blueprint that how we implemented or what we implemented during the 60s and the 50s, and they used it for their own benefit. We became more consumed with other people and their plight before our own. But the difference is that little group of fairies, what they did was they put their money where their mouth is. They paid politicians to get these things. They had lobbyists. We don't got black lobbyists. You know what we call a lobbyist? A congressman or a senator that we voted for. That is not a lobbyist. That is not what they're there for. We don't put our money behind certain things and say, this is what we want. And if you don't give it to us, you're not going to be there anymore. You don't hear the Koreans. The Koreans never beefing about nothing because they put their money where their mouth is and they talk quietly behind the scenes. We don't like this. We don't like that. And then they put their money behind it and they say, look, you got to change this law. You got to do this for us. We have Barack Obama. Biggest disappointment. I voted for him twice. Took my daughter there for his inauguration just to be a part of history. But he didn't truly do anything for us specifically. His philosophy was rising tides lift all boats. Well, no, that ain't true. Some people drown when the tide raises. So I'm saying all of this to say, I agree with you. And you are the future, champ. You gonna be me in another 15, 20 years. You gonna be me. And we gotta pass it on. We gotta keep the lights on. But more importantly, we gotta stay focused, man, on the things that are important to us in this country. I'm not gonna shit on Africa because I'm not happy about something here. I'm just not gonna do that. Because we got our own issues and they got theirs. And you're right, there is a division. But you are the future. You as a black man. And you got my support. And I don't wanna tie the channel up. You know, like I said, I came up here to flirt. I ain't gonna lie. I saw that chocolate woman. I was like, well, let me say hello to her. You dig?
Yeah,
What I'm gonna do is uh, I'm not gonna promote myself, but what I am gonna do is I'm gonna invite you to come by. Come by
for
my
sure.
channel. I got a little channel. I actually have two channels. I'm gonna give you my smaller channel, where we talk about relevant issues. All right.
What's your channel name, bro?
I just put it in the back chat. All
Okay,
right.
I got you. I got you.
And I want you to, and the lady, if you would like to come. I'm not a combative commentator. I believe in mutual respect. I drop my link every day. You don't got to agree with me. Sometimes we got a crowd. Sometimes we don't. Depends on who I'm talking about. But I'm generally cussing out black folk and white folk and everybody else out there. And so we can stay focused because when I look around on this application, I see so many people with a lack of focus on the things that are relevant and the hypocrisy. Like today, if you go over there today, I was talking about Tyler Perry, all right, and that situation with him, and the gay community. I love beating up on the gay community. I ain't gonna lie because I ain't gonna lie. I ain't gonna lie. I beat them up as anytime I get an opportunity. But I talked about them today and the hypocrisy. They are making excuses for Tyler Perry and the situation with the white guy. And why is this guy asking for 260 million? And I'm like, stop being stupid. He asking for 260 because Tyler got 260 million. They gonna go for what they go for, right? So now the gay community is saying, well, I don't think this is right, and they making excuses. And I'm saying, have you seen the text messages back and forth between them two? Tyler Perry is gay. Always felt like he was. Anybody that dressed
Yeah,
up like a woman, you know, I never bought into the whole Medea thing. I I never I never paid to go watch none of those movies. I'm just not into that. Like, dog, why you acting like that? You know, like be a man. You 6'6". You a big nigga, and you out here with a dress on and a wig, making black men look weak. So I never bought into that Medea thing, but now it's confirmed. You're gay, but he's been in denial. So my hypocrisy today, my commentary was about the gay community saying it wasn't nothing that big. I don't understand why this man trying to sue him. And I'm saying y'all always come up to protect one of your own.
hmm
So now he's openly gay. He still hasn't admitted that he been gay, but he's always been gay, and we knew it. We always felt something ain't right with that boy. He got sugar in this thing. So now the gay
yeah,
community is rallying around him in order to protect him. Oh, we can't cancel him. And I'm saying, wait a minute. If you look at what Tyler Perry did, what they keep forgetting, he's an employer. He was that guy's boss. He did the same damn thing Puffy did. I didn't hear nobody crying about Cassie getting 50 million out of Puffy and still testifying against him to put him in jail. It will be hypocrisy if you don't use the same standard for one situation as you would for the other. That was my
thanks,
commentary. You dig
thanks.
what I'm trying to say?
I did, bro. I'm gonna check you out too for sure. And
Yeah, and
I
drop
thought
down.
that yeah, I actually thought Tyler Perry was out the closet until this happened, and I found out he wasn't. I ain't gonna
Nah.
lie, I don't even pay
Yeah,
him enough attention to. And I did want to say
exactly.
one thing to your point about how the Alphabet Boys, kind of pretty much rose to power. I think a big
Mm-hmm.
reason they got a leg up is because a big majority, for one, that organization encompasses so many different people. So they already have
Mm-hmm.
politicians that are in that community, whether they out the closet or in the closet. They got
Mm-hmm.
politicians that like to mess with the T's. They got a lot of the G's in politics and government seats, and
Mm-hmm.
CEOs are G's, whether we know it or not. I said they probably got a lot of L's around. They got a lot of these
Mm-hmm.
letters. These letters are already, in holding chairs. So it's kind of like the Klan on a way that they're underneath the scenes, but they're everywhere. But they just
Right.
even bigger. There might be an Asian that's in that alphabet community that is not
Mm-hmm.
open, but he gonna support the legislation because he
Right.
know what he like to do on Saturday nights. He want to go mess with
Exactly.
the Thai boys, and so they had a leg up because they had such a broad net. It was almost like the alphabet community is like the biggest mafia Like you could make a Godfather 5 about them, man. Like
Yeah,
the way that
yeah,
they
they gangster.
influence
Mm-hmm.
music, entertainment, television,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
sports, every single thing. Like they got it to the point where you can't even be a man. When I grew up, I watched,
Right.
I'm like I said, I was born in 1990, so I grew up with, The Simpsons and Mad TV and, South Park. We made
Right.
fun of that community. We dropped hard
Right.
F's and we said
You
we
better
made
not.
because of being masculine was the
Mm-hmm.
primary thing to be. Now it's you can't even
You better not.
you gotta be real careful going outside and being a
Mm-hmm.
man and
You
being
better not say
masculine.
nothing bad
You
about
will-
them.
you could be put in handcuffs for just being too
Mm-hmm.
much of a man. You damn near could be put in
Exactly.
handcuffs for opening the door for a chick and looking at her ass when she walked in, or saying oh that shit gay or whatever. You can't even talk right,
What? Yeah, you better not.
censored. And
Yeah, they
they
will
that's
censor you.
it's almost like that mafia group got us as their biggest target. It's like a war. It's
Mm-hmm.
the
The
it's
man,
the two families. You know what I'm saying? It's the
manhood,
alphabet
manhood.
community and it's
Mm-hmm.
manhood. The two families beefing over the nation. You got women in the community like what's the basketball chick Grimes coming out saying, "Yeah,
Right,
I'm about
right,
to be
right.
a daddy." You about to be a
Wow.
daddy. You ain't got
Yeah,
no
I did a
goddamn
video,
old meat, no
brother,
semen, no nothing. You ain't have to go
brother.
through puberty and have a hard on in the 8th grade or none of that. You just a man. You
How
about to be a daddy.
look, how they make rubber babies? How you make a rubber baby? I
Yeah.
just I cut them up every day. They can't stand me over there. All right,
I'm a
everybody
rock
can't
with
stand
you
me.
over there, bro. I think we could
Man,
definitely have some fun about that.
champ, come. You more than welcome. And I want my sister to come on over and meet some people. Like I said, I got a little following. I'm working on my second channel. This is my second channel I put back here. I've grown about 2,000 subscribers, and
HQ a
I think
freak
it's
too,
like,
man.
is she? You
Sure,
better
freaky
stop
dicky.
playing. Yeah.
I can't hear you. You do know that, right?
Oh shit,
But
you back?
well, she's a pretty lady. I listen see before I approach, I do my research and I listen to about 10, maybe 12 of her shorts just to
Mhm,
get a feel for who she was.
mhm.
And then and I subscribed. I left you a little message. You
Thank you.
seen my little message. All right. And I was like, let me go over here and holler at her. I don't even know if this woman married or not. So for my brother out there that was saying, well, you ain't even married. Well, maybe I met my wife, damn it. Okay. Good things come to those who wait. You dig?
Snap.
Real talk. So I want y'all both to come over. I'm not very argumentative. I give the mic. Look, I do my commentary for like 45 minutes.
Okay.
After that, I turn the show over to whoever's up. If you want to come up and you want to make commentary, you want to challenge me, you're more than welcome. I just don't cut people off and all of that cussing and fussing because my channel is monetized. And now you're messing with my bread. So we got a little cuss jar, and anything you ever want to know. I only
Mhm.
got one requirement. Just ask me. I'll tell you. It's very, very simple, open and honest. I support the man, the woman, and the child. It's all about the black family to me.
I'm
That's
with
what
that.
counts. Our
I'm with that.
children, our
Oh,
children
you
are our
drop
future.
your link in the chat too, so that
Yeah.
anybody else
Oh
who
no, I,
drop it in the
I
chat.
think you need a wrench for that. I don't have I'm
Yeah,
not
I'm
you
about to
you
drop it.
could
I'm gonna
copy it.
drop it in there for you. I'm gonna
Yeah.
drop it in there
Oh,
for you.
okay. But yeah, I don't anytime I go live, sometimes we got 30 people in there, sometimes we got 200 people. It just depends on what I'm talking about. You know how it go up and down. But come meet new people.
Mhm.
I always encourage people to do that. Meet new people and and let's engage. Let's have a conversation. And anything and look, they hate me. I'm telling you. They call me the old man, you bitter. They be like, you bitter old bastard. We can't stand you. I'll be like, because you ain't got no daddy. That's why you hate me. You hate me because you think I'm your daddy. You ain't my child. I talk my shit. But
Let me drop HQ.
Okay.
Hit the like
Give me your
button.
final word. Give me both of y'all final words.
Final words. Hit the like
okay.
button.
And
HQ is not
HQ,
working for free. Hit the
yeah.
cash app. Hit the super chat. We ain't doing this for free. Get HQ some money. She needs some money. Get her some money. Y'all can get everybody else some money. Y'all be at the mother channel super chat. Y'all ain't over. I ain't seen it. Super chats are beautiful. Ain't that what she said?
They're beautiful.
Super chats are beautiful.
Subs,
I,
those are beautiful and wonderful. Please sub to this gentleman's channel. Please sub to the channel. Anybody else want to drop a link? Please do that so that we can get. See, I am one of those people where I want all the black channels to get the money. If you go over to the white channels, if you go over to the white channel, they all go from channel to channel and they sub, and then they be having hundreds, thousands, millions of subs. It's like I don't understand why we ain't doing the same thing with our people. Why we don't go from
right.
the other. Right.
You're right. I promote on my channel.
Right.
I promote people who support my channel.
Right.
You dig what I'm saying? Because look, I've had 20,000. I've been that high. But then, like my brother was talking about, I did not know you couldn't call gay people the F word. And they was flagging me and they knocked me down. And now I'm building my channels back up. I got I think I got like 6,400 on one channel. And then the channel that you just dropped, I've been building that one up. And I'm doing great.
all right,
We just hit.
I'm gonna slide out of here, but good to meet you, brothers.
Okay, brother.
HQ, you
I'm
know I
gonna look
love you,
forward to you.
IT.
Thank
For
you.
sure.
Thank
For
you.
sure. I see
I'm
y'all
gonna look
soon.
forward to you. Drop
Yes,
down,
sir.
be a part of the family, okay? And HQ, before I drop down,
Right.
when he dropped down, I'm gonna drop something in the back chat for you, all right?
Oh, okay. Okay. Thank you very much. Thank you very
Thank
much.
you, little bruh. Little bruh, I appreciate your respect and your knowledge. I truly do. I can't wait to talk to you again. And introduce you to some I got beautiful women over there. I ain't nothing but a ladies, man. I got a ton of them over there, but they my sisters.
All right. Oh, we look forward to going over that. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. You want to drop that in the chat? You can, sir. In the back chat.
I'm gonna drop it in the back chat for you, okay?
Let me read these. Project Leroy, member for 2 months. Great conversation today. This war is not our fight. I honestly agree with you. I do. Let Israel, Iran, and the WS battle it out. We focus on reparations. Hit the like button. Thank you very much. Thank you
I'm with
all.
that too.
Yes.
You
And
got me. You got me in the back chat.
yes, I do. Yes.
All right. Yeah, we got to build together. All right. I think you'll meet some good people. We
Right.
got some pretty decent people over there.
See, I wish we all had that mind frame. We all had that mind frame where, like I said, I go to the other channels, I go to the white channel, go to all those channels, Hispanic channels, and they go from channel to channel, whatever channel that's Hispanic, whatever channel is white, whatever that are talking about, you want to talk about, they will sub and they will get these people up. I wish that if I go to another channel, every person in that chat is supposed to sub to whoever they can sub to. So we all lift our boats together, and then we can be a powerhouse on here if they did that.
Well, we could do that.
We could do
All right, I got a little bit of juice, just a little bit.
Just a little
All
bit.
right, just a little bit. Yeah, they like it when I'm cussing people out. That's my whole thing. Yeah, they do.
When is your shows? When is your lives? You say?
Whenever I get pissed off.
Oh, okay. Well, I gotta
I'm
go
like,
there. I
why?
gotta go there and sub. We gotta go there and
Yeah,
sub.
and turn your notifications on. Like I said, on this channel, I don't really curse too much because it's monetized. My other channel, which when you come over, you'll get familiar. Just come on and hang out. And then I go over when I want to really cut up, I go to my other channel.
Oh, the one that ain't monetized. Okay, I got
Right.
you.
And that's the bigger channel, but this one catching up quick. Like I said, we picked up about 3,000 subscribers in the last month. So
That's nice.
we doing it. We doing it slowly but surely. We doing it.
Well, I thank you for coming up. Nice to meet you. I am
My
HQ.
pleasure.
I am HQ.
My pleasure. Okay, Miss HQ. We got to talk. We got to talk one day.
Thank you.
'Cause
We
I
will.
got
We will.
questions. Yeah, I got questions, doggone it. I got questions. So the next time, what was his name? Black America?
Black America, yes.
Yeah, next time Black America talk to me, we might be married. You see what I'm saying? And then he won't be able to say, you ain't free. I'll be like, yes, I am. See, you got to take it off the table. I'm just joking, but I look forward to talking to you again.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Right on. You have a good day.
Rain. Oh, Rain, I didn't read yours. I'm sorry. Because Ty Pro said, thank you for $4.99. Is it super sticker or is that super chat? Well, it doesn't matter. Doesn't matter what it is. I appreciate everybody showing up. I appreciate everybody showing up. It was an impromptu, very impromptu stream. And I thank you very much. Who else? J Tillman, $6.99 super sticker. Thank you, sir. Impromptu stream because I was concerned about the war. I mean, we got some of the fears allied. We got some of the fears taken off the table. You know, I just don't want to see anything come close to the United States where we have to lose some people. 9/11 was very scary. I remember where I was on 9/11. I just got done working the night shift. I had went to bed after I got off work, woke up at 11 o'clock, and 9/11 had already occurred. And the world just was never the same. And I recall me calling my brother who worked in Washington, D.C., who worked there. And I remember him telling me that the sidewalk was rocked as he was walking downtown and he had to run because of the smoke. He just recalled the ground being rocked. And that was my first thought and my first action when 9/11 happened. So that's a scary thought. I'm just saying it's a scary thing. Who knows? But I thank you all. Thank you. You know, I'll probably be live some other time later on. Who knows? I'm just doing some things, changing some things. Please turn on the notifications so you can be notified that I go live. Please look at the content. I will be doing more content. I will be doing more, reactions. Please send me things if you want things to be reacted to. Just please. Thank you. I appreciate all of the feedback, and I appreciate you all commenting on the videos, and I appreciate all the things that you do. I appreciate my God. So with that being said, I will see you later. I will see you all later.